me start the show official. I like start the show professional instead of like the hood right way. Let's go. Hey, today, I don't know if anybody is live, but I was bored. So I said, hey, I was doing some work on the computer. I said, let me ask a question. Who is the number one scholar today? Back in the days, you had your Dr. Ben, your Dr. Clark, your Walter Williams, your Chancellor Williams. You know, after them, you had like the Ray Hagans, the Ashra Kwesi. Later on, you had like the Polites, the Shaka Amos, and then you had like the Amira Squad. You had the Dagger Squad. You have, Raw Bond, True Historian. Who is the number one scholar in your eyes today? Let's have this conversation. While we're having this conversation, when it comes to Rastafarian information, when it comes to biblical information about Christianity or Judaism, whatever, when it comes to science, scientific literacy, when it comes to Islam, the good, the bad, the ugly, when it comes to Kemet, is Wudjau the top guy in the community? What about Smash? What about, speaking about Smash too, I got his book right here, man. Smash book was one of the books I used to use to kill the folks. Ankh, scientific literacy, is he one of the best teachers? You know what I'm saying? Who is the best teacher? Ankh, Asar, is Asar Imhotep one of the best teachers? What about Jabari? Let's talk. I mean, hold on, let me put the link in the chat. And let's just have a conversation, man. Whoever you like, I really don't care. And we just get it in. You put the link in the chat. Put the link in the chat. Kwame, why don't you click the link, man, instead of trolling me? Yeah, click the link, man. Click the link. Who you think is the best scholar today? What's up, Shed Moon Patar? You say Mario Beatty is the best Medjugorje guy or the best scholar in general? Yo, Kwame, I don't know why you choose to argue with me and you start me, you troll me, and you always end up wrong. You don't want to accept that Garfield is right. Like, I don't know if you look at me as this guy that don't know anything, like I'm this stupid guy that just come on here and just talk whatever I want to talk and don't make any sense. But hey, it is what it is. Ancient history with Obi. Jump on, bro. Come on. I ain't got no beef with none of y'all. Don't let whatever they arguing about separate us, because at the end of the day, none of this information affects none of us financially, except probably people who make money off of Kemet, like Ashra Kwesi, Ray Higgins, or Jabari, who charge for trips, or Mfadishi. It don't really affect us. Smash, it don't affect Smash. Smash is a businessman. He's a businessman. I'm a businessman. Ankh is a businessman. But we don't depend on this information to make money. We don't, which we stupid. We stupid. We should have monetized ourselves. That's what we should have did. But we stupid. Florida done. What go on, Dopes? Yo, I think as far as the Bible and history, I think Guerrilla Hebrew is one of the top guys out there. Katazar is pretty good. Yawasap is pretty good. Deacon is pretty good when it comes to the Bible stuff and history. It doesn't matter. I just said the top. Who's the number one scholar today and talking about our community? What's up? What's up, big bro? What's poppin'?
Peace. I'm in the building.
Are you in a trolling mood or are you in a serious mood? I need to know before you start. Because you troll a lot too. You're not a troll, man. You're not as bad as Kwame, but you troll a lot too.
I'm in a serious mood.
That's what makes you unique, though. Your trolling is different.
True that.
All right, what's up? Sean is a good answer. That's a good answer, Kwame. Sean is a good scholar out there. He's doing his thing. All right, what's up?
Yeah, I generally try to bring knowledge and information. Some think I'm a pseudo. I have my understandings and I've been through a lot of schools of thought. But I would say that as you read, and peace to the chat and whoever else is on the panel. Um, I would definitely. I'm leaning towards as far as Black scholars in the meta nature. My
No, no,
thoughts
no,
are.
no, 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 no. We're not doing that. We're dealing with scholars. Scholars don't have a color.
I understand that, but and
Scholar,
people like to lean.
basically, I wanted to talk about people just around us. I really wasn't interested in nobody who's not in the loop. Mario
Well,
Beatty is really not in the loop of us.
he
It's us. I'm
actually.
talking about. I'm talking about us on the YouTube world. I'm not really talking about. But if you want to include that in your conversation, that's fine.
I see what you're saying. You wanna just focus on like.
No, you could recommend and say anybody you want. I'm not going to even put no bars or no holdbacks or whatever you're saying, because we got to
Well,
respect each person's will. So go ahead,
yeah,
bro. If you say Mario Beatty is the best with the Meganetta, I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people. So it's not like you're the only one that say that. A lot of people say that.
right. I just want to be clear. Now, if you talk about folks that are around us, I you got like you say, you got Jonathan Owens, you got Asar, you got Sanjetti, you have Wudjau. When it comes, you got Ned or Neb, and they all are learning in their own. They've learned in their own way, and they're continuing to learn. I think some may have feel like they have their scholarship and there's nothing else to learn. They can only teach, but I disagree with that. But
That's what's
that's what the meta nature. Now going outside of our scope, and I will kind of push back on Mario Beatty. I think he is kind of watching and behind the scenes because Reggie is with ASCAT. And then when you go to and I only do this because some people say, oh, you can't use that type of scholarship, you can't use this type of scholarship. But then when it comes to the meta nature, as far as outside. Jonathan Winterman is probably up there, pretty much at the top of his class. I don't know who else is on the continents that are really putting in that work in the metanetric. Now you
Mhm.
say now you want to talk about top scholarship. Like no one is a top scholar in everything. When we want to talk about space and aeronautics, you might want to go to. Scholarship. Like I'm hearing an echo.
No. That's me. Let's go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. Then you might want to go to what's the brother? He gets around a lot. Man, my mind is failing me. Who's really into the science, the math, and the astronomical aspects. Uh, brown, lighter brown skin gentleman. He's an elder, but he's still youthful. I think his hair is a little bit wavy. I think you know who I'm talking about, but I can't think of his name right now. As far as mathematician, I'd go with him. Um, yeah, I don't really know who's on the other continents. That's we tend to not hear from them a lot. At least I don't. But yeah, that's who I. But now that's as far as like an all around scholar. No one, no one in our community is like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. I like the real Merkaba. I think a lot. I like a lot of his stuff, and there's a lot of stuff I have questions about. Zion Lex, I think I like his commitment to studying. I love Zion Lex commitment
Oh,
to
for sure, for sure.
learning
Big, yeah,
and
big
get
up to Zion Lex.
growing.
Him and
You know?
the him, yeah, him and
Hey,
the
grown
Hebrew.
man, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna cuss you out just for GP Ghana Grills. I'm about to cuss you out. I'm about to cuss you out just for GP.
He's a good actor, I think maybe.
Yeah,
But
of
yeah,
course.
yeah. But Zion with the Hebrew, um, and then learning, quickly learning the some of the meta nature too, and his. I even put you in that category because you have when it comes to Hebrew and the analysis of Christianity, a
Mhm.
little bit of Islam and Judaism, that historical and that aspects of Jesus and was he a real person, this and that, and studying the Talmud, I put you in that category as
Time out. Time out 1 second. I don't care about Garfield. F Garfield today, right? That's what Thunder's about to say. He's about to say it, so let me say it for you.
Go ahead.
You about to say, you gonna come on and say, F Garfield. We don't care about Garfield. Hey, let me say this. I'm implementing the Cash App to take Thunder off. I got too many complaints about Sunday show. If you want Thunder to come off the stage, it's $25 for 5 minutes. Simple as that. Y'all Cash App me, and I take him down. Boom. Get him out of here. That's how it goes. Because, bro, the amount of complaints I got, and I tell people,
what I do Sunday?
You know what it is, Thunder? I love you as a person, and I love your commentary, and I don't take it personal. And I think we need people like Contrarian Thinker. We need people like Thunder, because it's like people can't disagree and be cool. Me and Thunder never had an argument. Why?
Yeah, for what?
Every day, though. It's like I'm used to this shit. I don't know. Maybe because I'm cool with you, but I'm used to Thunder. These dudes be getting, I'm like, they're getting sensitive over Thunder. It's crazy. Yo, in my Facebook inbox, I got about 13 messages. Yo, G, I like the show, man, but bro, that dude Thunder, man. I'm like, bro, where's the fun?
They be complaining?
You're watching me to like agree with what I'm saying. I hope that we agree with each other. No, you gotta be challenged.
No echo chambers, man.
Yo, my dad used to say to me, he said, Gary, he used to call me Gary. He said, Gary, you got an excuse for everything. You always gotta say something. Why? Yeah, we not agreeing with everybody. We not to go along to get along. I don't want Thunder to agree with me. I'm hoping he don't agree with me.
Right.
Look how I'm gonna get him right now. Look how I'm gonna get him. I think Jabari's number one. Look at him disagree right now. Watch this. I got him.
You got Jabari number one.
I got Jabari number one today. Watch him stutter today. He gonna be like the dude stuttering. That's how I was watching.
So you say we can't use you, right? So you got Jabari.
Oh man, you can't use me. That's a tough one. You can use whoever you want.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Scholar, I would say, yeah, you got to go with probably Zion or what's the other guy that got the little what's the little guy that was little light skinned guy? Hebrew Israelite. What's his name?
Divine Prospect.
Yeah, Divine Prospect. One of those two. If we ain't gonna do you or Jabari, yeah, I would go with those two.
I would also have to add Dr. Ma'at in there as far as science and mathematics.
I ain't never watched her, so I don't know.
She's more of an operative instead of a what you call speculative, where she builds individuals. You know, she really is putting in that work, and she also has a product. It's called Meltrex, and STEM classes, and she's really doing that work. You know, teaching youth.
Q Butter, I think he's doing some work from what I'm hearing.
Q Butter. Yep,
We're talking about scholarship. Scholarship we're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about Scott. Well, he teaching. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I ain't never listened to Dr. Ma'at. I don't know. But scholarship, yeah, Zion and Divine Prospect.
Yeah, Dr. Ma'at, she was the one 10 years ago who brought not the bonobo bone. No, not the Ishango bone, but the bonobo bone. She didn't just go back like 20, 30,000 years. She ended up going back 50,000 years. And that was new information to me. So I commend her on that. And she came in with fire. She was beating up, men. She was debating. She'd be debating one against men.
JJ 7000. That's funny.
Give me a second. Y'all keep talking.
Did you watch? I was about to ask Garfield something.
Oh, did I watch what?
Did you watch Sonetta last night?
No, I don't watch it.
Okay.
About the Jabari and the Exodus stuff?
Yeah, I got a text from somebody telling me, well, I didn't watch it, but I just see if you heard anything. Brother Sanchez. Yeah.
I caught a little bit of it.
How was it?
It was pretty good. And I would definitely, as an educator and a scholar, I would definitely put Jabari. He's got a lot of knowledge, especially in a somewhat fresh since he's still teaching his classes. Yep, I definitely, and I would put him in quote unquote as an operative too, because he's changing lives through in his own way, in his own, in his own teachings with his class or with his group, whatever you want to call it.
What's your definition of a scholar, bro?
Well, you pull it up. Actually, the definition.
Okay, thank you.
The definition of a scholar
is a little too loosely. That's what I think.
Actually, the definition of a scholar is very loose. Pull it
I
up
don't think it
and
is.
read the definition, Thunder. I'm about to teach you something.
You about to teach me?
Yes,
I'm the one that asked you what the scholar, and you think you better teach me? Okay, let's see how this works.
You obviously have never read the definition of what a scholar is.
Good, no problem. I mean, we actually done on the show, but no problem. Is that what you think?
You don't remember it, I guess.
That's cool, man. I like it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let me ask you this: how long you been in the community?
Yeah, see, that's what I can tell you. When the first time you met me, bro? Like last week, sometime?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard your name float in the last year, but I don't remember you 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
10, 15? No, I'm about 4 or 5 in the game.
Okay, yeah. I took like a little
Garfield.
I took like a little hiatus too, kind of like Wudjau, but I was still like listening.
Scholar. A scholar. You want to read or you want me to read it, bro?
I'd have to pull it up. Oh, it don't matter who reads.
Okay, good. I want you to teach me since that's what you said you're going to do. A scholar is a person who is a researcher, okay, or has expertise in an academic discipline. Okay. A scholar can also be an academic who works as a professor, teacher, or researcher at a university. An academic usually holds an advanced degree or terminal degree, such as master's degree or a doctorate, which Jabari falls under an academic, in my opinion.
I agree. But if you go to the beginning,
I guess he's a scholar as well, but I say academic. Independent scholars and public intellectuals work outside the academy, yet may publish in academic journals. And
Reggie would fall in that case.
Say it again.
I said Brother Reggie would fall in that case.
Brother Reggie, there you go. And participate in scholarly public discussion. All right. So when I'm looking at the conscious community,
stop for 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah. I want you to help Kwame out. I want you to share something on your screen for him.
Okay. What do you want?
Because he every time we talk about something, he start trolling the chats, trolling the comment section.
What you want, Kwame?
And I wasn't trolling. I was just correcting what you said yesterday. You said the case.
What are you correct? I want you to tell the audience what are you correcting.
Yesterday, you made the claim that the Caves of Treasures was before.
I didn't make it yesterday. I made it on Sunday.
Part of Sunday.
So you got one thing wrong so far. We're gonna count everything you get wrong. So that's one right. Let's go to 2. What do you say? What did I do now?
You said the Caves of Treasures before the Talmud.
All right. Oh, I said. What did you just say, Thunder?
I said the Caves of Treasures is before the Talmud.
All right. So Thunder, do me a favor and pull up the Talmud right now. Which one of the Talmuds? Pull up the Talmud.
Talmud first, okay.
Yeah, let's pull up the Talmud. Babylonian Talmud, right? Right, Kwame?
I mean, either or.
No. The Babylonian Talmud. That's what you're talking about. That's
the
what
Babylonian or no.
There's 2 different Talmuds. There's a Jerusalem Talmud and there's a Babylonian Talmud. What you're talking about is not in the Jerusalem Talmud.
Okay, either one of them is before the 7th century.
Here we go. Let me
No. The Cave of Treasures is dated to the 3rd or 4th century.
We don't have the original manuscript, so we can't.
Do
say
you have
that.
the original manuscripts of the Babylonian Talmud?
I'm sure we have records.
You got 2 so far. 2 wrong so far. Let's go. Let's continue again. No, 3.
So can you?
let's pull up.
Let's pull up what year.
Hold on.
I'm sharing the screen.
Share the screen. Let me share the screen. Remember now, I said that the Muslims, you see, I believe the way Kwame believed before, that the Talmud is what influenced the Arabs. But I was wrong. I grew. 3 years ago, that's what I taught. I can't teach that no more because new information has taught me that they got it from the Cave of Treasures and then they rewrote it. Hold on. Watch this. Was the Talmud written before the Cave of Treasures? Let's take a look at this first. So you got 3 things wrong so far. We're gonna go to number 4 now. The Talmud. Look at this.
If we go by tradition, we could say the Talmud go back way further than the 2nd century. But
we could say tradition, but the story.
But that's the same thing. That's the same thing with the Caves of Treasures.
Hold on. The Cave of Treasures is the earliest account of the Cave of Treasures. They said is the 3rd century of the Common Era. Written down. We're talking about written down. Because I could show you stuff before that too. I could go back to 2nd century BC.
So we have a manuscript of the Caves of Treasures from dating back to the 3rd century.
No, we don't have a manuscript of the Talmud dating back to the 6th century either. Your argument is falling apart on both sides.
So the Mishnah don't go back to the
Mishnah is an oral tradition. That's oral.
Is that not part of the Talmud?
Yes, it is. Overall, yes, it is. But hold on. You are referring to a specific part of the Talmud that has to do with our quote unquote blackness. That's the part we're referring to. You see, you're still not getting what I'm saying because you're still going to come off the show even when I prove you're wrong and still think you're right.
No. I'm trying to be proved wrong. So can you show me evidence of the Caves of Treasures?
I'm trying to tell you the same. Listen. I grew up saying that the Talmud is the reason why the slavery and all that stuff.
And you was right.
No, I wasn't. It's not correct. It's not correct. That is not correct. I wish I could.
Golfer, you're a smart man. I ain't never say you a dumb man because you're a very smart man. So you know who had the universities across the Mesopotamia and the Levant.
All right, let me ask you a question, right? Can you show me a transmission? You're gonna have the same problem that Jabari has when he says that the Egyptians influenced Christianity directly, because he did say direct. He says direct, then he says indirect or whatever. So I'm gonna use direct right now because that's one of his cases he makes. Show me the influence on Islam by the Talmud. Show me the transmission.
Okay. We have Talmudic stories. Hold on. Do we have Talmudic stories in the Quran?
I don't know.
You serious? The story about Abraham.
Answer this.
The story in the Quran. I could give you one. Specific story.
Time out. Are we talking about blackness and the curse of Ham? Is that what we're talking about? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Can you show me how the curse of Ham talked about in the Talmud influenced Arabic writings? It don't have to be the Quran in it. It could be any writing.
Okay. Let me make one point. It's a story in the Quran where they talk about Abraham was thrown in the fire by Nimrod. Now that
has nothing to do with blackness and slavery. This is
what you just asked me. You said, "Can you show me the influence of the Talmud on the Quran?" I'm giving you a story right now.
All right, regarding this blackness talk, not regarding that. What are we talking about? We're talking about let's take a look.
All
right. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at it from what we talked about. Back up. Let me take this off the screen for a second.
Wait, are you saying that Judaism has no influence on Islam? That's what you're saying?
We're not talking about that. You see, you're all over the place. It goes back to this book again. This is what it says. Beyond implications, an explicit link. Hold on, let me make sure it's to show up on the screen properly. An explicit link between blacks and slavery in the context. This is the key. The context of the Noah story first appears. Remember, it's saying first. So if it was a tradition in the Talmud, they would have said the tradition was first in the Talmudic tradition. It's not in the Talmudic tradition, and it's not me. You're talking with the expert that actually brought this out. It first appears in the Syriac Christian work known as the Cave of Treasures. Hold on 1 second, guys. Y'all could talk.
At the Cave of Treasures, dating in its present form from the 6th, 7th century at the latest.
6th, 7th century, right? Thunder. Can you pull up the Talmud when you finish?
I got it right here.
That's not the Talmud. That's the Caves of Treasures.
No, I have I have it up. That's what Garfield got up.
Okay. But I would actually add to that. But did we finish reading that where it says, but originally going back to the 4th and 3rd? So that's like a tie. 3rd century.
Yeah, but we don't have no meaning. That could be just a pseudepigrapha work that just attributed to somebody in the 3rd century.
But that's fine. But that still doesn't negate that it existed. So that's your Talmud, and that's your I guess Babylonian Talmud and your biblical Talmud.
Cave of Treasures.
Yeah.
So, and then we also know. I think we can date back that Judea or Israel goes back further than that. And my understanding is when I read through some of the Quran, it says that the reason why the Quran, quote unquote, was created was because the Judeans were not going of the way of the book the way it should have been. I guess they were starting to add their own little flavor and doing things unjustly, and then the Arabs came up with their own and said, "No, we need to fix this." But they also say Islam predates. Peace.
I wanted to ask Golf, is it possible that the Syriac Christians was Arabs themselves?
Yeah, but you moving that goalpost everywhere. Hey, listen. So we're gonna go with 3rd or 4th century, right? It's saying the Cave of Treasures originally goes back to the 3rd or 4th century. The Talmud, it said the term Talmud normally refers to the collection of writings named specifically the Babylonian Talmud or Talmud Bavli, compiled in the 5th century by Rav Ashi and Ravina II.
That's at least 1 or 2 centuries before the Cave of Treasures. They date in the Cave of Treasures
after the Cave of Treasures.
No, I'm saying the tradition go back to the 3rd century. The oldest evidence.
The Cave of Treasures go back to the 3rd century.
No, that's a tradition. That's attributed to. But I'm saying the oldest work we do that we know for a fact that we do have a Cave of Treasures go back to the 7th or the 8th century.
All right, let's do it again. Beyond implications, an explicit link between blacks and slavery in the context of the Noah story first appears in the Syriac Christian work known as the Cave of Treasures, dating in its present form from the 6th or 7th century at the latest, but originally going back to the 4th or 3rd century. All right. So we got that. I'm guessing this is it is BC or AD. I'm guessing AD.
Yeah, that's CE.
Common error.
Or AD. I'm gonna say AD.
But I would say, wouldn't you guys say that the Septuagint is before 0 AD or 1 AD?
Yeah, the Septuagint probably like second century.
So those Talmudic, or the Torah, those writings existed because the Old Testament wouldn't able to have been canonized.
No, those were oral though.
So how did they get canonized? By the Greeks.
You said how did they go way back? Well, we don't have no evidence of a Bible before the Septuagint.
Exactly. So let's look up the date of the
Hold on, let's get the Babylonian
Septuagint.
Talmud first. So the Babylonian Talmud, according to Wikipedia, was compiled in the 5th century. So that means the Cave of Treasures came first, right? Or wrong?
Wrong. Well, according to what Garfield brought forth, was the third on the Babylonian Talmud, and the Cave of Treasures came after.
Listen to what I'm saying. The Cave of Treasure was when, bro?
7th or 8th century.
No, it said the 3rd or 4th.
Right, originally, but then they say presently they're saying 6, 7. But yeah.
So are we going? Which one are we going for? The 3rd or 4th or the 7th or 8th?
7th or
Pretty
8th.
confusing.
Why?
Yeah, bring up your source on the 7
because
and 8.
when you're dealing with especially people of the Bible, they write a lot of pseudepigrapha work, like write works that are associated
Well,
with
you don't have
somebody
to prove what you saying, man. You just making you ain't saying what this article saying, bro.
I just Google pseudepigrapha.
Why
And
am I
what
need to
does it
Google
say?
that? We're talking about the Cave of Treasures.
What I'm saying is, yeah, it could be associated with somebody from the 3rd century, but we know that the writing style and everything.
What I'm
comes from the
saying
7th
is
or
you
8th
got to
century.
prove what you're saying instead of
you reading it right now. Go back to it.
It's up right now.
Beyond implication, an explicit link between blacks and slavery in the context of the Noah story first appeared in the Syriac Christian work of the Caves of Treasure, dating in its present form to the 6th or 7th century at the latest, but originally going back to the 4th or 3rd century. On the biblical story, the works of can you go to the full Wikipedia article?
No, we're not going to go to the full Wikipedia article. We have this right here. But listen, it says dating in its present form from the 6th to 7th century at the latest. Now, why is that? Because the version that they have is like the Babylonian Talmud is not going to go all the way back. You're going to have a version that's available today that goes back a certain time. It originally goes back to the 4th or the 3rd century. 3rd century is what? 200s and such,
200
right?
No,
CE,
400,
400 CE.
3rd century is what? Hold on, Kwame. 3rd century is what?
I say about the 400s.
200.
No.
Wow. Let me write down again. Wrong again.
That's
This guy,
why
I don't know why he comes on here and do this.
Garfield, that's why he's keep befuddling. He keep messing me up. I'm like, dog, are you reading this on the screen?
You messing up thunder?
The 3rd century, man, is 200 to 200.
Now look at the key. Why did Garfield bring this back up? The reason why I brought this back up, family. The reason why I brought this back up, right? Because you see the transmission from the Cave of Treasures to Arabic writing.
Hold on, let's start with the century. So the 1st century is from 0, or let's just say 1,
to 99. 1 to 99.
Yeah, 1 to 99, right? That's the 1st century. The 2nd century is what, Kwame? 200 to what? 100 to
100 to 199.
And then the 3rd century is from 200 to 299.
Yo, when they say Constantine made
No.
Christianity.
We're not talking about Constantine.
I'm just saying they say the 4th century. They say the 4th century, correct?
You're confusing us. Listen. Let's do this carefully, right? Let's do it carefully. The reason why I brought this back up is because I'm going to show a connection to the Cave of Treasures to Arabic writings, right? Now, growing up, I was taught that the Talmud is the one that influenced Islam and let them feel like they have permission to enslave black folk because of these writings. That's what I was taught. But I'm coming to find out that some of this is like propaganda. But what we can show is the Cave of Treasures influence, and I'm going to show it now, influence Arabic writings because they repeat the same thing. They repeat the curse of Canaan.
Is it possible
I agree with that.
That Christians were Jews or Arabs?
That's irrelevant.
But that was their culture, I would say.
That's irrelevant. No, it's irrelevant. I'm gonna tell you why. Look at this now.
Garfield, you got to stick with the checklist you got of rights and wrongs this man got. Don't let him keep moving the goalposts. Let's get what we need to get established first. The Cave of Treasures came before the Talmud. Can we all agree on that?
Yes. 100%.
Kwame, Obi,
I can't say that.
how can you read? Okay, hey, share my screen on the Talmud, please.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just get this out the way.
All right.
The reason why I say it's come from the Cave of Treasures is because if you look at it, the reason offered is that Canaan had invented musical instruments by means of which sin had multiplied in the world through song and lute play and lasciviousness. It then continues. Canaan was cursed because he had dared to do this. He and his descendants were reduced to slavery, and they are the Egyptians, the Mysians, the Kishites, the Indians, the abominable one, Mosrai. Now, the Arabic version and the Ethiopic versions of the work expand Canaan's descendants to include all blacks. Who is doing that? The Arabic and the Ethiopian versions. And now they include all black people.
I have a question for you, Garfield.
Yeah,
hold on.
me too.
Garfield.
One second. In these versions of the Cave of Treasures, the biblical story is retold. Canaan is cursed with slavery. And then, in addition to the biblical account, we are informed that Canaan descendants were various dark-skinned peoples and all those whose skin color is black. Here, for the first time, we see the explicit association of blackness with servitude in the context of the Noah story. Where did the Arabs get it from? The Cave of Treasures. They didn't get it from the Talmud. So you now have to show me now how the Talmud influenced the Arabic writers, because what this goes on to do is name the Arabic writers who it influenced and who repeated this tradition. You see, where is the Talmud doing this? I'm not saying the Talmud ain't got nothing to do with the Quran. I'm not saying none of that. I'm not even going there. What I'm talking about is the whole curse of Ham.
Do you know about Taribi?
Say that again.
Do you know about the Arabic scholar? I forgot his name. Tabari.
Tabari. What did Tabari? He's right here. Tabari 923.
You don't see it right now?
Garfield, I'm gonna correct Patterson in the chat real quick. That would be in the BC in the BC era, or what's the before the BCE era, not the CE era. It goes the other way. He's talking about 200, 300, 400, 300.
Einstein, Syriac Christians. Let me go back. So you don't think, see, right there, Syriac Christian. So Syriac Christian, same difference. All right. Now, all I want you to do is show, all I want you to do is show the Talmud influence the Arabic writers about the Noah story and the curse of Ham. That's it. That's what we're talking about. We got to stay on topic. We can't go to anything else.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
But Garfield, let me ask you this right quick.
No. Let him talk.
Let me help him out a little bit. So what is the oldest Old Testament text, whatever it is, not canonized, and then how old is the Septuagint? From my understanding, the oldest Bible, I'm not talking about the Vulgate, the Latin.
Pause for 1 second, Chef. Please allow. I'm not even going there with you because you're talking about something totally different. You're not even understanding.
I understand the conversation, but I think that negates your.
That's not has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
The Cave of Treasures and the Talmud. That's what we're trying to.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the Cave of Treasures. You see the story. This is that way you guys got to understand. Remember, saying somebody that because Ham is black and the curse of blackness is attributed to slavery started with the Cave of Treasures. It didn't start with anybody else before that. Nobody else was saying that before that.
Kwame came
on the Syrians with authority on the Bible?
Kwame, nah, we're gonna change it.
The Bible has nothing to do. Bible doesn't say that.
Who had the academies across the Levant and Mesopotamia? It wasn't the Syrian Christian.
Okay, hey, Kwame, what does that have to do with the Arabs who enslaved black people?
If you look All right, even if you look at the stories in the Quran, most of them are derived from the Talmud.
No. Nope. Stop. You're changing the subject again.
Now we
I
all over
want
the
you to
place.
show the Talmud talking about the Noah curse with Ham and Canaan and showing it, them replicating that in Arabic writings or Muslim writings. That's all you need to show. Nothing else. There's
Can't,
nothing else to talk about.
Let me try to find it out. Where he explicitly said that he got these stories from the Jews.
That's fine, but what story are you talking about? What specific story? Because right here it says that such a genealogy linking Canaan and blacks, independent of any connection to the story of Noah and contrary to the Bible's genealogy, is found commonly in Islamic literature attributed to authorities from the early 7th century onward. Thus, Ibn Sa'id, Tabari, Masudi, Kunani, refer to Cush as this. Anybody that says Cush is the son of Canaan is what they did is the Arabs switched the story up and said Cush is the son of Canaan, which is not biblical. So you can't say they got it from the Jews because that's not the story the Jews tell. They got that story. They fixed that story themselves and switch it up. That's what they did. The Arabs did that. So you can't find it. You're not going to find that in the Talmud.
Garfield. So with the biblical story,
But you're not
came
showing no
from
I'm sorry, but you're not
Ham,
showing
right?
no transmission from Syriac to Islam. I'm trying to find this.
No. I never said
knock me
Islam.
out,
No. I said Arabic writers. See right here, the Arabic and Ethiopic versions of the Cave of Treasures expand Canaan's descendants to include all blacks. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. They are saying that all black people are descendants of Canaan, and that Canaan's son is Cush. So they call black people in general in Africa, they call them Cushites. So those Cushites, that's justifying them enslaving Cushites in the trans-Saharan slave trade. It didn't come from, I'm telling you, it didn't come from the Talmud. The Talmud didn't do that. The Cave of Treasures did that. That's why they remixed it. They didn't remix the Talmud and put it in their Arabic writings. Anybody you see repeating Canaan has a son named Cush, they're repeating their version of the Cave of Treasures. So they had a Cave of Treasures for themselves. Where is the Arabic Talmud that they remixed and rewrote over? You can't show that. You're not making any sense.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna find the source and come back. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh boy.
Hey, Garfield, where did this text come from? This that you got on the screen.
The Cave of Treasures, it came from the Eastern Church, the Syriac Christians. They don't like to talk about this part. I remember Brother Barry kicked me off. They ain't ready for this yet. The Christians not ready for this.
I got the Wikipedia up right now if you want to read that, but it's the same thing, relatively.
Do we consider Syrians Arabs? Syrians, Assyrians.
Not necessarily. In modern day, some of them are Arabs because Arabs is a different thing. When did people start calling people? Well, you know what? Come to think of it, Arabs been around from the BC era time. But the point of the matter is Syrians are Syrians.
But I always say we got to use chronology. And we got to stay, go step by step.
Let's get to your question now. Let's get to your question. What are you asking now? What are you asking?
Well, I did ask, what is the oldest Old Testament text?
Old Testament and the oldest Old Testament would be the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Dead Sea.
And what is the date? What does it date back to?
Between like 150 to 250 BC or 100.
And then the Septuagint, what is its date? Because my understanding,
Septuagint is dated to like the 3rd century BC. We don't have no manuscripts for it or anything, but it's assumed to be around the 3rd century BC based on tradition.
So, and where did they get those traditions from?
The name Septuagint wasn't used until like Jerome, like the 4th century AD. So let's call it the Greek version of the.
Oh, let me share the screen to back you up. We got to slow down, y'all. Y'all go too fast.
That's why people think I'm the #1 scholar. It just rolls off my brain.
I'm not tripping on you. I'm talking about the people who's challenging you. Everybody, let's slow down. Septuagint, right? We got the Bible scholars.
Who's challenging?
Biblical
No,
scholars.
hold on, Thunder. Before you read that, finish your point. I want Shesmu to finish his
All
point.
right.
So
No,
yes, we
those
have
were those.
the scrolls, and we have what you call it from the BC era. Okay, what's the next point?
Right. So those were the two dates that I wanted to. And then I would have to say, or I even asked again, who did they get? Who was the progenitors of this information?
Oh, those people. So what happened is, what you need
What
to
people were
understand.
they Arabs or were they Jews? Basically, that's my question.
No. Those are Jews. But the issue is the story that's in
Or
the Cave
Hebrews?
of Treasures is not. They remix the Bible story. They remix it, so it's not the same story in the Bible. So what they
So
did
so
was
the
they attached blackness to slavery. There's no attaching blackness to slavery in the Bible.
so the Noah and the Nimrod, Noah, the Nimrod, the Canaan, the curse, the Ham. None of that was in the Old Testament.
Yes, they were.
All of that was in the Old Testament.
But the story is misconstrued, starting with the Cave of Treasures. That's when they start saying, "Hey, Ham is black, and blackness is attached to slavery."
Is this where now? What about the? I believe it's the Talmud that speaks about elongated manhood
Manhood,
and
yes, but that didn't influence the Arabs the way how people thought. It was the Cave of Treasures, which is prolonged. That's what I've been saying to everybody. I used to believe that. I don't hold to that anymore because some of the Talmud that people have is not the same edition from back then. It's like a modern day perspective that switched up the words and all type of stuff. Because I literally asked a scholar that I interviewed recently, and she sent me back some answers. And so now I'm more enlightened on the subject. I'm not saying the Talmud doesn't say that, but which edition of the Talmud are you reading? Are you reading a modern day rendition where they're changing the words and putting black and all that stuff to have a more of a modern day racist understanding?
I thought that was from the time of the who do they call the Hebrew the best Hebrew scholar from back in the day? What was his
Oh,
name?
from Rashi, talk about Rashi and them dudes. My
No,
mama.
before him, the
Oh,
old
I don't know about
the
that.
main one, the main guy. Uh,
I don't know about that.
if I let me Google it. I'll come back. So y'all go ahead and y'all can continue. I'm out from that
Yeah.
one.
What's up, Obi? What's up, your man? Who's your top scholar, Obi?
Hey, I'm new to this online community as far as scholarship. I mean, I tune into your channel. Um, I don't really have no top because I mean, when you're talking about the Bible and stuff like that, are you talking about the from a historic standpoint or because that's why I was trying to gauge some more like understanding because the people that I've heard they specialize in different in different areas like I see the guy Jabari, he's more on Egypt, right? And then so I don't really know. I mean, you have a lot of you got a lot of information that you know what I'm saying that it looks like you studied in a lot of different areas, but I look more about stuff as far as historical and uh at that. So I don't really, you know what I'm saying, I don't really know who to say who is regarded as the top scholar in this online community of I don't really know who's regarded. I'm not even sure.
Jabari, Garfield. So you got to look at what a scholar. A scholar is a person who is a researcher or has an expertise in an academic discipline, right? It's a very simple thing, and you could paint. It's too broad. I do agree with that. It needs to be a little
Yeah,
more.
it's broad. Yeah.
Needs to be a more qualifications.
Because
Also,
I'm just I'm gonna jump in.
I
Go
hear
ahead.
like Jabari it sounds like he has a lot of knowledge about the Egypt stuff and
he's a
you
scholar.
know yeah, so but here's the thing with me personally, I try to listen to what people when they put out information and what they use to validate it. And when they say, oh, they're gonna source something, if the source for me personally, I like to know that the person knows either if they're going to source and reference somebody else's study, just like a statement or a claim that another scholar makes, and just say, oh, this is one of the top scholars in the world, and they said it, therefore it is. That's not really how I roll. I like to know the source information so that I can decipher for myself, is that
Right.
good or not? You know what I'm saying? That's what I notice a lot of people on the online community, they don't really do. They just say, oh, this person said it and they're regarded as a top scholar, therefore it is. And then if you go, why? And this is because they're studied in it. Okay, but they're studied in it, but what is validating what they're actually saying to be
Right, because that's
true?
called appealing to authority.
Yeah, and I
So-
don't do that. I don't roll. That's not my thing, because I'll challenge anybody.
You appeal to authority every day, bro. What is you talking about?
Well, no. Okay, time out. Yes, you can. I'm not talking about.
Yes, you do.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about just on everyday going about life. I'm talking about when we're talking about these type of discussions, and especially when we're talking about ancient stuff, historical stuff. Something historical can be proven to be either true, or it can be unverified,
Neil
or it can
deGrasse
be
Tyson
proved to
tell
be
you
false.
something, right? Neil, you ask him a question about space, and he tell you,
That's
"Hey,
the
this is
guy I was
what
talking about.
this is what the scholar say about space." Then Neil deGrasse Tyson told you this. Are you telling me you not gonna listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson and you gonna go behind Neil and say, okay, let me look at what Neil looking at and then come back and now you could do that, but
yeah, I'm about to say
me,
you can
Neil,
do that. What's wrong with doing that?
Ain't nothing wrong with doing it, but are you gonna do it?
Okay. Oh, if I'm not interested in it, if I'm
there
not, okay,
you go, exactly.
Hey, Thunder,
so you're gonna appeal to the authority. That's my point.
Thunder, I'll use you as an example, right? You remember we had a discussion like about maybe like a few weeks ago. We were talking about the Ashkenazi Jews, right?
Yeah.
You remember that? So I told you, you remember you pulled up that Wikipedia, right?
Yeah.
And then you said, oh, it said this about that they were linked to the historical Jews or something like that. And I said, and you were like, hey, you see, it has I said, does it have sources? You say, yeah, see, it has right there. I said, I won't say I agree until I check those sources out. Well, I actually followed up on it, and all it did was say what I had said before, that the big thing that the Ashkenazi Jews were connecting themselves to, that ancient Israel, was with DNA, because they sourced 3 different references. The first one, you wouldn't agreed with that because you said you don't go with Bible. The first source was just referencing them due to the Bible. The second one was just saying that the Ashkenazi Jews, because Germany, they were saying that Ashkenazi meant Germany back in the old times. And then the third reference was just using DNA. And that's what I do. I do follow up with something that I'm interested in, though. If I'm not interested and that person is, regarded as, somebody credible, and then I was, okay, this person said it. It doesn't mean that that's actually, what I'm saying? It's their opinion. You get what I'm trying to say?
I wanted to throw out that name. Flavius Josephus is the individual I was thinking about.
But about what? As far as what? As far as what?
A quote unquote valid Hebrew scholar.
Well, he's a historian. I don't know about him being a scholar. I know he's a historian. I don't know about him being a scholar per se of what. I know he was a historian.
Big up to everybody. Big up Garfield.
What up, Stupid?
What's up, Stupid? Why you change your thing, man? You got to put the pig's tail back, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a pass today. You got to put the pig's tail. Remind me what I used to eat back in the days.
You know, for juicy beef patty. 4 Jamaican juicy beef patty.
Yeah, he want the bean
Oh, I need
patties
to
up
move to
there.
Florida. I heard what's his name is in Florida now. Juicy Patties or whatever.
Yeah. It's just cross the road from me, but one is opening up across the road from me, but it's
I
not open.
forget.
That bit.
I'm gonna send you money, make you send a box. Come give me, cause them things
Make
is crack. That's crack. Hey, you know what's crack in Jamaica? The donuts. The donuts that people bring up from God. Whoa.
the red and white box Prestige donut from
if you are
Sniping Road.
diabetic, don't eat that. That's crack.
Yeah,
That's gonna
man.
send you over your limit. I'm telling you, it's gonna send you over your limit.
When people coming up, 2 things we want a box of KFC, a bucket of KFC, and 2 boxes of donut, and a box of patty. That's all.
Diabetic coma right there. Diabetic, yo, Jamaican Kentucky KFC Thunder is totally different than the KFC here. Dudes is
Jamaica got KFC?
bro.
They got jerk.
They kill each other over KFC in Jamaica, bro.
No.
Jamaica has the greatest KFC in the world.
Right now, Thunder, you open up a KFC, you're a millionaire in 3 days. You're a
The
millionaire.
busiest KFC in the world is found in Montego Bay. It has about 20 cashiers.
Thunder missing their flights over KFC. Bro, I came up to Jamaica from Jamaica the last time I came up with a bucket in my hand. They give it to me. I say, yo, carry this up for so and so. Yo, people kill for the KFC, bro.
That's wild.
You know how long I had to wait? We had to go early in the morning to try to stay on the line to catch the line so we won't be late for our flight.
Is it like the regular KFC or is it
No. And especially the barbecue. If you have the barbecue, you eat that all day. The barbecue KFC in Jamaica.
Bro, if you eat KFC in Jamaica, I heard Trinidad is pretty good too. If you eat it in Jamaica, you won't come back up here. You're going to stay in Jamaica. And the donuts, and Prestige donuts, I'm telling you, you're gonna be in a diabetic coma in like 2 minutes after you eat that Prestige. You're not gonna want to eat one. You're gonna eat like 6 of them. 6 of them.
And the best time, like when you get them when they're freshly baked in the morning, the best place to get it.
Killer. This is why the most men that have prostate cancer in America come from Jamaica. Or colon cancer. One of them.
But anyhow, I throwing out something to the young man. He asked a question earlier, and this is my opinion. There's no scholars in the conscious community. Scholar come from the word scholarship.
Yeah, you wild.
No disrespect to you, Garfield. No disrespect to you. No, let me explain. Let me explain what I say. You have students. You have students in the black community. You have some students who are better than some. Tell me a scholar. No.
Everyone's a student.
No, some people teach. Some people are teachers, some people are students. Some people are teachers, some people are students.
They're practicing.
So you saying Neil deGrasse Tyson ain't learning nothing else? He learning.
No, I'm not saying no. No, what I'm implying. This is what because no. Let me finish. Let me explain what I'm saying, please.
Teaching him right now.
No,
let me explain some what I'm saying. Let me please allow me to speak. No, let me explain it. In the conscious community, people walking up and down and saying them is scholars, and I want you to show me one expert in the field that they're discussing. Not even Jabari, who is going after his doctorate.
So you're conflating expert with scholar.
I am not. I am, of course.
Wow, man.
Of course. You can call it anything you want to call it.
A scholar?
Of course, yes, because I have too much schools now. I have too much. You have to be an expert in your field for me to consider you a scholar. There's no expert in the field in the conscious community. Tell me one expert in Egyptology. Tell me one expert in Egyptology in the conscious community. Tell me one expert who in today. No, listen to my argument, brother, before you talk. No. Listen to my argument before you talk. No. Tell me one person who's going out. Okay, answer. Tell me one expert in the conscious community. In any field. Even Garfield will tell you that he's not an expert in Hebrew Israelites. Garfield, are you an expert in Hebrew? Would you consider yourself an expert?
Expert when it comes to Black Hebrew Israelism? Yeah, I would. I would consider myself. I would. I don't
in
think
terms of
anyone.
black.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. When it comes to
Yeah,
black
all right.
Hebrew Israelism, I don't think there's anybody out there that's more feared, and not to toot my own horn, more feared to have a conversation with. And even when I go on Clubhouse, it's like every time I go on Clubhouse and talk, it's like everybody has to challenge. They have to challenge Garfield because he's known as
I would give you that. I would give you that because it is
because
not a
remember,
wide
black
open field.
Hebrewism is not a field though. It's not a field.
It's not a field, right? That's why I give you that.
It's
That's I
becoming.
give you that.
I'm gonna give an example. Well, you know what? Get off of me. I don't want to toot my own horn. But
All right, okay. No, no, ask the brother.
my brother in here. Hold on, let me get my brother. He's fancy and he wants to speak. Rakeem Shabazz, what up? What up, King? What you want to add? You're on mute.
You're on mute. Yeah.
Nah, I think I think everybody has specific things that they are really knowledgeable on. So I don't really think that there can be any one person labeled a top scholar within the so-called YouTube community. I feel like there are different subjects and subject matters that people are extremely proficient in, and they may lack in other subjects. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to give a analysis on who would be the top scholar. I think everybody should be appreciated, obviously, for what they do and what they bring to the community. Now, when it comes to something like ancient Egypt, you know, maybe that is something that is verifiable and quantifiable whenever you know, you guys have these back and forths on these different channels. But overall, I think it's hard to say like who would necessarily be a top scholar, the top scholar, because let's say one person may be proficient in
remove the word top. Remove the word top. Remove the word top.
Fadishi would be a good one for Kemet.
Okay, well, when it comes to being a scholar, I wouldn't necessarily say that a lot of these brothers that don't have quote unquote PhDs are not scholars. We can look at like the term that Walter Rodney coined, you know, guerrilla intellectual, man. It just depends on
autodidact.
Depends
autodidact.
on,
yes, nothing wrong.
I know what an autodidact is, but I use guerrilla intellectual for a reason. Because there are, when it comes to disseminating information to the people, how effective are you in doing so? You may have a wealth of information, you may have a wealth of knowledge, but you might not be able to get that off and have the people understand what you're talking about. And so I don't necessarily look at a scholar as having to have a PhD in whatever the subject matter is, as long as that person is, I mean, you don't need a PhD to write a book. You don't need a PhD.
Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. I'll end the plane here. Like, so I appreciate everybody's channel and what everybody does. Even on my own channel, I have people like Dr. Gerald Horn, who's Africana Studies at Houston, Dr. Khalida Fairfax, Africana Studies professor at Norfolk State, and many others like that, right? And we are able to have these conversations and go in depth about these subjects and topics that I bring up. And I don't consider myself a scholar, but I have studied enough and I've dedicated my life to studying enough where I can have engaged these conversations with real thought and real depth. So as far as what someone needs to be considered a scholar, I mean, that's not really my thing. But when it comes to an idea of who the top scholar is, I just think you would have to be more specific on what that subject is, because some of these people that we hold in high esteem are great at one thing, but they're not necessarily great at another.
Right. Yeah, brother, I love what you just said a while ago. When you justify your position, you mentioned that you interact with doctors who you consider experts. And although you interact with those doctors who are experts and scholars, you do not put yourself in that category. You only say that I am skilled enough to have a conversation with the experts, but I'm not an expert. That's what you said. Because I want to know how many theses has anybody in the conscious community, right, that has been peer reviewed and the finding is under discussion, has been considered that this is fact. None of us. There's no experts in the conscious community. There are some bright people, yes, But we need to stop throwing the word experts around. We don't have any. We have bright people who know enough to have engage in conversation. Jabari is not an expert in Egyptology. Stop it.
So let me ask you this though. All right. So now I'm not disagreeing with anything that you said. You're right. I don't consider myself a scholar, and whenever I do interview these scholars, I don't put myself on that level. I make sure I'm prepared. I make sure I, have a good working knowledge on the subject.
You're a very proficient student.
But at the same time, whenever you talk about what an expert is, what is your criteria for being an expert, or for someone in the conscious community to be an expert? What is the criteria?
He just said a master's because he said thesis.
No, expert has to be published. He has to come with his own ideas, and not only rely on the ideas of other people. You're a student then. You're a student.
But wait a minute, stupid.
Okay, anybody, don't say that word. Anybody can do it, but continue.
Yes. Anybody can.
If anybody could have done it, everybody would have done it.
Stupid.
And that is not true.
With all due respect, man, you coming in and you just asserting all kind. You just making stuff up.
I'm not making stuff up.
Let's hold on. Be quiet for about.
Let's read what a scholar is.
Be quiet for about.
Hold on, stupid. Hold on. I want the people. Listen, the Cash App is there. If y'all want to kick Thunder off, y'all know the rules. Y'all just send a Cash App $5, $10. Get him out of here.
No, $50 to kick Thunder off. $50 to kick him off for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes to put him in time off.
What you got to say?
All right, so let's share the screen. We got to get nigga knowledge out of this community, bro. Y'all have been.
You have to apologize for that, I don't call nobody that N-word, and I don't appreciate to be called that.
I don't care.
So call me something else.
I don't care.
No, I am not. Listen. No, it's not a matter. I don't care. If you look in the mirror and you say a nigga, I'm satisfied with that. Call yourself that. But nobody I've ever looked in the mirror and say a nigga. So I'll appreciate if you don't call me a nigga. I've never looked in the mirror and say a nigga. I have never looked in the mirror and say a nigga. So I appreciate if you don't call me a nigga.
I said nigga.
No, but you said implying to me. So I appreciate if you don't call me that.
I didn't say your name, but if you're offended by the word nigga, man, you'll be okay. You'll get over it. I guarantee you will.
All right. I don't like batty boys calling me niggas.
A person.
and a batty boy coming out to a batty boy Thunder.
That was a good one. That's
right.
Good one. No
yes,
problem.
Continue. You can continue.
All right. That was a good one. I'll take that. No problem. A person who would see you see how I did that? I ain't get mad at you. You want to call me a batty boy? No problem.
Are you saying that Anthony Browder or Theophilo Banger, none of these people is experts in their field?
Hold on. This is my point. We got to get definitions. Let's look up what a scholar is, and then we're gonna look at what an expert, and then we're gonna see if Theophilo Banger and if Anthony Browder are experts. Let's relax. So a scholar, a person who attends a school or studies under a teacher, whatever. But the 2A is what we're looking for. A person who has done an advanced study in a specific field, or a learned person, right? So we got that definition. Well, scholar, a specialist in a particular branch of study, especially the humanities, a distinguished.
All right. No. No. 1 and 2. Go back to 1 and 2. Go back to 1 and 2 because you shoot yourself in the foot.
You want to go back to 1?
1 and 2. Now, tell me who in the conscious community has been to school to study anything that they're talking about. And then 2, tell me who in the conscious community is advanced knowledge in that specific area. If you cannot, show me 1 and 2 in the conscious community.
Let me ask you a question. All right. So, for a scholar, a person who attends a school or studies under a teacher, or a person who has.
Is that high school?
See,
no, I'm not talking about high school.
That's my point with Stupid. He's shooting himself.
You see? You see what you're doing? All
That's
right. 2A now. 2A. What 2A
okay.
says?
There we go. Now let's stick with 2A, like I told you. A
Yeah.
person who has done an advanced study in a specific field,
All
or
right. Tell me who in the conscious community has done that.
or a learned person.
Hey,
Tell me who in the conscious community have that.
What is
Anthony
a
My
Brown,
argument,
Carlos
my
Sanders.
argument is that nobody in the conscious community is that.
Right, I agree, but that we got your argument right. You said don't nobody
Right.
fit this.
Let me ask you
us
Right.
to make the counter argument.
Let me ask a question though. What are we considering the conscious community?
Oh, now we're gonna muddy up the water.
No, because I think sometimes we have a tunnel vision, whereas if this is not Sonetta alumni or something on YouTube, then that's not the conscious community.
Well, whoever you
Everybody, in this conscious community, everybody who came through Sonetta. Everybody who came through Sonetta. Who came through Sonetta.
So everybody who came through Sonetta is what we're considering the conscious community.
No.
They are.
No, I would say the people that believe in Kemet or Pan-African ideology will be considered the conscious community. Because the Hebrew Israelites or the Muslim, they don't consider themselves as a part of the conscious community.
Many have studied before Sonetta came on. Even though Sonetta was doing his studies on the street and in Islam,
once again,
many
man.
have
Come
been
on,
doing studies
man.
before then.
Scholar.
Yeah, let's stay on topic.
Yeah, come on, y'all. So,
it's the same thing.
You saying nobody has done advanced study.
There's only two persons. There's only two persons we can. Only two persons we can say in the conscious community.
You just said zero. Now you saying
you said it was none.
No,
So
listen.
You said zero.
I'm not that. I'm not. I have nothing but respect for Dr. Maya, but Dr. Maya field is engineering.
Are you backing off your claim that there are
No.
scholars in the conscious community? Are you backing off of that? Yes or no?
No.
All right,
I'm not backing off of it.
Now you're saying that Garfield has not done any advanced study in the specific field. You're saying that Ankh, you're saying that Jabari, you saying ain't none of these people done advanced study in the specific field. Is that what you're saying?
Jabari did the advanced studies in Egypt. Garfield has not done advanced studies in Egypt.
He got a major in Africana studies.
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. So,
I'm not, because none of them have.
At this point, Sufi, I think you're disqualifying yourself, man.
What is considered a learned person? What is that definition?
Hold on. Since Sonda make an accusation. Sonda, let me ask you a question. No. Let me ask that specific question. Let me ask you a question. No, let me ask you one question. No. As Garfield studying a specific field, that his argument is about. As Jabari studied in specific field. No, they have not.
Africana
You muddy in the water.
Africana studies.
Right? I don't want to do that.
He did not study Egyptology. He did not study Egyptology.
So he asked,
Egypt is in Africa.
Hold on.
Oh Lord.
What is the
share my screen, Garfield?
Africana studies don't mean West African studies, mean Africana studies.
What the hell that mean? Goodness great. Y'all are bringing all kind of stuff. All right. A learned person has gained a lot of knowledge by studying. He is a scholar.
That's what I am.
A genuinely learned man, right? That is so. Okay. Obi, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So basically, if you do your own personal research study,
you're not a scholar.
Not in an institution, but you're doing you're studying and you're specializing in studies of, you could be considered a learned person because you have the knowledge and you study. Yeah, so that's under the definition as a scholar as well. So are you using that definition when you're talking about who is the top scholars and stuff like that? Or are we just using the definition of like what that first definition was?
We're gonna use
We're gonna use every
in my case, well, Billy Carson is a scholar. If you don't believe Billy Carson is a scholar, I guarantee you ain't gonna stand up, Mongo. You not gonna sit in front of and Billy Carson and say he ain't. He may have some pseudo stuff, man. That man is a scholar. But yes, according to the definition that we read, a person who has advanced study in a specific field or a learned person, which we see on the screen, he's gained a lot of knowledge by studying.
Your Thunder, you gotta
has gained a lot of knowledge. Jabari has gained a lot. All these brothers have gained a lot of knowledge by study. So they will fall as scholars. All right.
I agree.
Now,
okay, I agree with that.
Okay, good. So now let's get to expert. Everybody relax. So let's get to expert. Hold on, Garfield. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's get to expert. What's an expert? Share. Share my screen, Garfield. Garfield. All right. Expert. A person who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of or skill in a particular area. All right.
Okay.
So that's
doesn't have to be certified.
No. What? See, now we're going to get into academic. So we're going to make our way to academic next. So we're going to go expert first. We got the scholar out of the way.
All right.
Let's get the expert out of the way. An expert is a person who has comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of or skill in a particular area. Similar, a specialist, authority, a pundit, oracle, resource person, adept. All right. Everybody clear. So, Stupides, are you telling me that no person in the conscious community has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge in a particular area?
And my answer is this. Let me speak for 1 minute. I let it pull up that. Let me speak for 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Please let me speak for 1 minute.
Go ahead.
An expert is considered anybody with 10,000 hours in a particular endeavor, anything at all. With more than 10,000 hours, we automatically classify as an expert.
Okay.
Not because you're an expert that necessarily make you a scholar. A scholar and an expert is two totally different things. You may have knowledge of the area because you have experience and time that you have dedicated to it. Especially if you have dedicated more than 10,000 hours. That makes you an expert. Right?
10,000
hours.
10,000 hours?
10,000 hours.
Question again. Is there no person in the conscious community that has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of a particular area?
None.
Wow. All right.
None.
Good. No problem. So now we're gonna get to academic.
So what's Anthony Browder?
No, don't worry about it. Don't even. We ain't even gonna challenge him on it. We just gonna let him disqualify himself.
I thought you had some college education.
He better disqualify himself.
That don't make me a scholar. That don't make me a scholar.
We just gonna let him disqualify himself.
So what's Shik, Anta, Diop, and Theophilo? Those are not scholars?
Of course they are.
Okay, now number 10, Garfield. Now let's get
to experts in the field.
They're experts.
Let's get to the expert.
Y'all let Thunder beating y'all up, man.
All right.
Them cash apps are Thunder.
So a scholar, okay, an academic usually holds an advanced degree or a terminal degree, such as a master's degree or a doctorate. So we know what an academic is. So that is what, again, Jabari and Garfield and all that, they will be considered academics as well because they have the schooling necessary to be considered that. A master's degree, a doctorate, that's what they got. So that's what an academic is.
Okay.
So we got a
But I don't think this.
Okay. What I needed to do is to go back on Google Thunder and type in what is a scholar, because the dictionary that I'm looking at now.
So you want to challenge it again? All right.
Type in what is a scholar.
No, don't worry about
Shik
it.
Diop is an expert. He's not a scholar.
Let them keep on wiggling, and we
Yeah.
pause.
Yeah, Shik. Wait, Shik Diop. But listen. Oh, stop. My apology. Does Shik Diop belongs to the conscious community?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, Pan African. Well, he wouldn't
He's
say
a Pan African. If you
wouldn't
look
say he
at
was Pan African though.
what they consider Afrocentrists, yes, a Pan African, yes.
Yeah,
Sheikh
because
Anta Diop
I
don't even
don't
know
think
that.
this
Sheikh,
I
listen,
don't
listen.
think this
Sheikh Anta Diop.
conversation should be
Sheikh
limited
Anta
just to
Diop. This is a
academic
no.
scholarship.
This is a question that this is a statement that I made. The gentleman asked a question earlier that who are the
So you're
top
coming with your
scholars?
own
No,
definition because you
no, no, no.
can't say nothing
Listen,
if
listen,
you are not
please,
You
please,
are
scholarly
brother,
not the
brother,
expert.
authority,
brother,
stupid.
brother, please, please. The gentleman asked a question. It's his question I'm answering. You know. He asked a question: who in the conscious community would be considered a top scholar?
Anthony
Sheikh Anta
Browder.
Diop, Sheikh Anta Diop don't even know that you guys existed. Or have any clue of what we call the conscious community today can
That don't
existed.
take away
He
the
was
point
not.
that he's a part of the conscious
Hold on,
community.
hold on. Hold on. Because in the twisting and turning, because I'm going back to the original question. And my answer was in the conscious community as we know it, there may be experts at this part, but there are no scholars. There's no specialist in a particular branch of studies, especially the humanities, a distinguished academic.
But look, but
In a
see,
particular, no, hold on, brother. Let me finish. That's a definition of dictionary. A person who is highly educated or has an aptitude for study.
Sheikh Anta
A
Diop is in the
student holding
museums.
scholarship.
What more higher can you go if you're in the museums?
We claim Sheikh Anta Diop. Sheikh Anta Diop didn't claim the conscious community.
Man,
Stop
listen.
jumping and claiming
Damn,
people.
Shake,
The
that
Sheikh
man
Anta
is
Diop,
dead. Now let's get to the conscious community, right? Fine, let's throw him out the window. No problem. Damn him.
Nah, we can't throw him
Now
out. We
let's
can't
we
throw him
I
Nah,
out.
we
mean just
can't
for the
throw out
sake of
Sheikh
argument,
that's
Kwame.
like that. Then you gonna
For
say
the,
Dr. Ben is not a part of the
for the
conscious
sake of
community.
no, let's appease stupides. We
First
can
world.
appease
He's
Dr.
saying
stupides.
Ben
he's
was
saying for
Dr.
the sake
Ben
of
was a
argument.
scholar.
Let's
He's saying
appease
for the
them.
sake of argument.
For the sake of argument, he ain't in it. Okay, fine. The people who we consider be in the conscious community, who the top one?
So what about Anthony Brown? He was just on Sonetta show the other day.
No, he not in the conscious community, right? Stupids.
Hey,
Yes,
y'all know
yes, Anthony
y'all know
Brother is in the conscious community,
All right, good. All right.
but Shik and Diop is not.
No problem.
Y'all
Throw him
try
out. No
to
problem.
Verify
claim
that.
him.
Verify that.
hey what y'all think about Professor Small? Professor
Would you
Small.
call Sheikh Anta
No, he
Diop
ain't in
an
the conscious
Yes,
Afrocentrist?
community, bro.
Professor Smalls is in the conscious
Don't even
community.
worry about him. Let's throw all of them out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let's just throw all of them out, bro.
In other words, we have nobody. We just some bums
No,
on here.
Yeah, we
I,
just some niggas.
I did
I
not
don't
say
know
that they are
about
bums.
we,
I,
maybe
Stupid. You said a
I'm
lot.
not saying.
You
I
said a
don't
lot.
know about the we part.
I'm not saying that the bums because you're putting that in my mouth. I did not say that.
Yeah,
And
you
I would
did.
admit that we
Hey,
might have experts, but we don't have no
Said
scholars.
a lot.
Stop it. We have experts, but we don't have no scholars.
Shake,
What's
Auntie,
I think the word
I
scholars.
what's Anthony Browder?
Now y'all
I
messed
just think
up
that
because first of y'all need to define the conscious community.
that's what
A
I
lot of
told him.
y'all think, huh? What you
That's
say?
the same thing I told him, but they're not trying
Right.
to hear it.
A
If you're
lot
going
of
to
y'all
use the
think
word, you got to define the term.
exactly. A lot of y'all want to claim
can
the
Because
YouTube.
check it out though. Check it out. Before these YouTube streets existed, there was a conscious community.
Right.
And the criteria for the conscious community then is not the same as what y'all considering the totality of the conscious community now,
Thank you,
which is just
Wise the
YouTubers.
Dome.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
YouTubers.
somebody drop
But
a
there
bomb
are
for that.
so many
Hello?
black scholars within this conscious community who do have PhDs, who do write books,
Oh, here we
who
go,
do
bro.
have Africana studies degrees,
Right.
who have all of this, but y'all don't ever mention them. For the most part, a lot of
share
people
my
don't
screen,
even know who
Garfield.
they are because they're not extremely visible on YouTube. So we begin
that's
to
why
Share my screen,
treat the whole
Garfield.
conscious
From my
community.
understanding,
That's
the
why we need to
conscious
bring up
The
community is
bring
YouTube
the
them on.
conscious community is bull crap for the most part. A lot
No,
of
it's
the
not.
Hold on, Juju, hold on
Subscribe
1 second.
to the
Time out
top
1
right
second,
corner.
1 second, guys.
Share my
Why is
screen.
the dome? What did you say a while ago? Which scholar's name did you call? I didn't hear you.
Didn't call him.
like before, I could just name a few, man. Dr. Myron Gilmore at Purdue, amazing scholar. Dr. CBS, Dr. Gerald Horn, Dr. Jared Ball. You got Dr. Joy James. I mean, you got so many different people.
But would you consider Jared Ball under the scholarly realm though? Because he's definitely a great mind as far as economics and so forth, as socioeconomics. I wouldn't put him in the realm of scholarship as far as history and archaeology and
But
science.
that's why I know.
So I wouldn't put him on even Thorne, or Reggie Horn, or whatever his name is. Gerald Horn, I'm sorry. Great mind. I wouldn't put him in that realm of what we're talking about. Let's look at, I do understand your point though, that there's a lot of people that's not a part of the YouTube world.
Well, let me ask
this
you
is why I actually worded the show improperly. Who is the number one scholar today? Can be anybody. It could be Jonathan Winneman. It could be anybody. It could be Camille DiBiase.
Let me ask you something.
It's to you individually. It's individually to you. To me, one of the greatest minds that let me grow is Russell Gmerkin. He don't have the accolades of the quote unquote what Stoopy's talking about. I remember when he was reviewing the chapter in my book on the Passover.
The French scholar?
And hold on a second. He's not a French scholar. So watch your mouth. Because everybody, why is it everybody's look at Finkelstein? Finkelstein's agreeing all flip from all the way from the maximalist position to his position now.
Yo, I'm playing. I agree with Gmerkin.
Hold on a second. So if what you're saying is true, Russell Gmerkin was reviewing my chapter on the Passover, and he looked at me and said, "Yo, Garfield, this is an excellent chapter in your book. I never looked at it this way. I didn't even know about the Zukru Festival." I'm like, "Whoa, you didn't know about the Zukru Festival?" Boom. He said, "I didn't even know about the symposium." So now that adds on to my scholarship, what I've been saying along, and he started pointing out things that he said, you're not going to add it to your book, but this is very interesting. But it does just to show that where my mindset is as far as the studies compared to what he's saying, and he's giving me compliments. I have scholars calling me. I'm not going to call their name. Doctors calling me saying, "Hey, I have a book coming out. And what do you think about what prophecy I should add to the book?" And I'm telling them what prophecy, like, okay, cool. Let me add this one, I add that one. So it's not, I think when it comes to the Hebrew text, as far as understanding the stories, I'll tell you, I could play the interview now with Jacob L. Wright. He said, I'm gonna let you speak to my PhD students. I wish they was as knowledgeable as you. So I know my shit. So when people say Garfield is a scholar,
you're an expert.
I don't want to run that, but I know what it is when it comes to text. I know exactly what it is.
Well, Garfield, I'm not in disagreement with that. You do know that well. The only thing that I would say to that, or in response, is if we look at a Gerald Horn, or if we look at a Dr. CBS, and they may be an expert in one particular specialized field.
Time out 1 second, brother. My bad. Time out 1 second. I cut off Juju, man. My bad.
No,
I was being bad juju, good juju. Go ahead, good juju.
No, you're good.
No. Go ahead. My bad. I cut you off and I went on a rant. My bad.
No, you're fine. What?
No, go ahead. Make your point. Make your point.
You know you good in my book, okay? So I don't ever have an issue. No, but I mean, I pretty much made my point. Like, define what conscious community you're talking about. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Okay, can I read it? Everybody good? Everybody finish?
And I'm just thinking,
I just wanted to respond to Garfield one time.
Go ahead, respond, bro.
I just don't think that whenever we are talking about what an expert is, you can't. I do consider those people I named to be a part of the conscious community, simply because nobody's going to be an expert in everything. When people tend to hold themselves as they're an expert in multidisciplines, such as I ain't gonna name them names, but a grift usually comes with that. We have different scholars that specialize in different things who I would consider them a part of the conscious community, because they actively not only add on to the scholarship that we use in the conscious community, but they also in the real world do things to address the material conditions of our people. At the end of the day, it's not just about being a scholar. In my opinion, the reason I brought up the term guerrilla intellectual from Walter Rodney is because it's about using what you know to help change the material conditions of your people and to liberate your people. And so that's it. You know what I'm saying? I got to head out anyway, though, man. It was good.
I wanted to ask Juju.
That's what's up.
That's something that Juju said.
Juju, can I ask you a question?
This is what I consider the conscious community. We know that there's an outside conscious community outside of the internet, whether it's the New Black Panther Party and other parties and other people who consider them conscious. even that may not be connected to the Black consciousness. But on the YouTube streets, I consider the conscious community or the conflict community or the unconscious community are every one of us that interact through our different channels, and those that don't have channels, and those that just come here to try to learn something, who might be young, old, and in between. That is considered the conscious community in my opinion.
Thunder, you wanted to read something, bro? Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Kwame, and then I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna go ahead and go
I
ahead,
wanted
man.
to ask Juju why she said that Shik Anta Diop isn't a part of the conscious community.
He wasn't a. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because for the most part, Shik Anta Diop was actually following academia still. You know, he was just challenging what he knows. It was probably erroneous in their in their inquiry, you know, and of course, talking about whether the Egyptians were Black or not, because at the time they were trying to take Egypt out of Africa. So he was fighting against that, but he was going about it in the right way, right? Submitting.
But he was fighting for
would he
What
Black.
the
be
hell we
considered an
going about it the right way?
Afrocentric scholar?
Why wasn't he? At least he was dealing with other
He was
scholars
wrong
in
in damn near
academia.
everything he said.
But let me finish my point. You're not finna bulldoze me. He might have been
Thunder,
wrong.
you're gonna be on the wrong side today. They're gonna kick you off for that.
Exactly. He might have been wrong in his hypothesis, but his hypothesis was, I mean, in totality, he was still pushing back on these ideas that Egypt wasn't of indigenous African. Egypt was of other cultures that were not in Africa. That was the main push. And that also brought back light to Africa and Egypt being in Africa. Whether his theories was wrong or not, he brought that attention. Like they now have to examine that because he dealt with it in the academic or platforms and in a scholarly manner. That's what I'm talking about.
And the majority of his scholarship was correct. Let's not
like
fall
what?
on.
Like what part? Go
What?
ahead.
Physics?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Yeah. No,
so
ain't
but
about
yeah,
about
he
that.
was a physicist though. You know, that's what he
And
learned.
the scholarship and his linguist and the scholarship that he brought to the 1974 symposium, the majority of his
Okay.
information was
Yeah,
correct.
you finna
No, it wasn't.
Juju,
Now you
are you
messing
saying
up.
that
Wait.
the Afrocentric?
Let me
Sorry.
ask a question. So please tell me, what was Diop's hypothesis or argument? And I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna tell you I'm asking this question. Wait a minute, let me
Say it was the
finish.
same thing
Let
that
me
you said.
finish. I'm not
It was the
done. Let me
indigenous
tell you. Can
Africans
you let
that
me
built.
finish? Let me
Hey,
finish.
Juju, number one, you gotta relax.
No,
This
be
not
quiet,
your
Thunder.
Let her finish. Let her
This is
finish,
not the
bro.
show.
Be
This is
quiet.
our show. So
Thunder.
people
Let me
gonna
finish,
be rude.
man.
Allow me to get them under control, and then
Jesus,
you
I
can
don't ever
proceed.
come on the panel. Why you just can't let me have a few minutes? Okay.
Go ahead, have your few minutes.
Then fine, don't interrupt me. The reason why I asked that question, what was his hypothesis? Because then you'll know why he was wrong. But overall, his ideas were correct. Do you understand? And what I'm finding out in this discussion, that most people don't know his argument. They don't even know his hypothesis, and they can't even tell you what it was. And for me, that's a problem because that
Enlighten us.
means you don't understand the argument at
Enlighten,
all.
enlighten us, Juju.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah.
We're not gonna enlighten you. Go and read. You could go read it.
Trust
No,
me.
I need you, the one that was saying
I
what
already
he
taught
was
you something.
doing.
You're a scholar.
Tell me what his argument was.
Juju, are you saying that the Afrocentric scholars are in line with the
Don't move the
main?
goalpost.
Yeah,
No.
Get back to where.
All right.
No, don't
Let
ask me a
me
question.
reclaim my time.
What I'm saying is, tell me in your head what was his argument.
No, that wasn't. No, that
I'm proving my point because y'all can't. Y'all wouldn't try to move the goalpost or have a different argument. You would just tell me what it was.
No, that's him. I'm just replying to a comment that you made.
Indigenous Africans started Kemet and were a part of Kemet.
That's wrong.
You are way off. All right, so
Anybody else?
Why is it
Hey,
wrong? Why?
Juju,
Tell
I
me
need
why
y'all
it's
to
wrong.
hold
That's
up, man.
because
Appreciate
that's
it.
not the words he used.
Okay,
Anybody
good.
else?
Because I done use my own words.
Hey, man, can
I
y'all
didn't ask
relax?
you to make it up. I asked you to
Now,
tell
No,
me
I'm not
Juju,
making
now
up
you
anything.
ain't. Now,
What
Juju,
you tell me what
and
he
you
never
just
tell
came
me
on
to
here and
correct me
told me
with
let
his
you
words.
finish, right? You told me let you finish. I let you finish. Can I read this definition? And then you go right back to it, Juju. All right. Define the conscious community. So what does a conscious community signify? To be conscious means to be aware. In my interactions with this community, I found that its members are deeply aware of themselves and how they engage with life. They challenge societal norms, refrain from taking them for granted, and actively seek the beauty in life. A conscious community is essentially a collective of individuals dedicated to mindful, aware, and responsible living. These communities uphold values such as sustainability, personal growth, social responsibility, and holistic healing. Juju, you got the flow.
Yeah, I just waiting for someone to tell me what Shik hypothesis
Okay, so
was.
who you asking? Let's get
Hey,
some
can I?
order.
Anybody? What is it, Thunder? You
Which
tell
one?
me
The
what it was.
Negro Egyptian?
Let's get some order. All right. So
You're
who
the
want to
one
go
that's
first?
doing
Kwame?
disruption.
Kwame, you want to go first?
Hey, but
Who want to go first?
Yeah,
Anybody
Gullah, I would
finish?
challenge
no,
whatever.
wait,
Now,
wait, wait.
Juju, I
Okay,
need you to
but
relax. You to ask your question. Now, who wants to respond to Juju?
No, I was just gonna say before we get to that topic regarding this
We
definition
already
right here.
here.
Okay, no, let's get
This
the
this
definition. Juju, let
yeah,
me
this
do this.
regard
Go ahead.
yeah, regarding to
You
this
can scream at me
regarding
as
Hold
to
much
on,
as
this
hold
you
on,
want.
hold
definition
on.
right
Hey,
here.
you
I'm
can't
still
scream
gonna
at
stand my
Juju, man.
ground.
Somebody
I'm
send me a
not.
cash app. Let
I'm
me kick
trying
him
to.
off real quick. Send me a
No,
cash app. Let
no,
me kick
that's
him off real
wild.
quick.
That's wild.
Exactly.
I'm the
That's
only
wild.
man up here to scream at
That's
Juju.
wild.
Okay,
Exactly.
That's wild.
and I
That's
scream at
wild.
her in private, not
She
in
been
public.
screaming at us all day. That's why I turned up on her because she want to come over here
Oh
running
man.
things. Don't nobody when she do
Oh
her
boy.
science project stuff. Don't nobody interrupt her. We can't even come on the panel.
Boy, I
But
get
we
interrupted all the time.
no,
Stop
you don't.
it. Stop
No, you don't.
crying.
So who on?
You're
Okay, so
crying.
Yeah,
somebody was
yeah,
asking a
but
question
hey,
about
can
the
I
conscious
address it?
community. Go ahead.
Yeah, this
Sound like
definition
somebody
right
has some
here,
daddy
when you
issues, man,
reading it,
trying to scream at the
when
female. But I get to
when
that.
you're
I
reading
get to the
when
psychology
you
later.
when you're
Go ahead.
when you're reading it, it's read as someone's personal definition of the conscious community. I don't think this is the definition that, as we're talking in 2024, it's more diverse than this alone. If you read it,
What are you talking about?
what did you say? Like there's right here is just saying that someone is who's dedicated, a community that is dedicated to mindful, aware, and responsible living. Well, it's more, I think it's more inclusive than just that. It's when I see especially when you see the online community, it's like it's all kind of different. It's all kind of different people that's inclusive into it. Like, uh, would you consider like Pan Africanism to
I
fit
say
into
that
this?
I say Pan Africanism is synonymous with the conscious community because the
No, it's
Abrahamic.
not. Oh God.
Can I
Y'all
jump
finna make
in?
me blow up.
Let me
I would
Juju.
That's
say
what I'm saying.
I would say that the
interrupt.
Me
Abrahamic.
personally, yeah, with this definition, it looked like Pan Africanism would be its own thing,
So let me
separate.
say this. Let me say this about
Please
Diop.
don't mischaracterize Pan-Africanism and move the goalposts back to the conscious community and Shik hypothesis.
So let me
Please.
go back and
Y'all
say
running right
Diop
now.
No, I'm
hypothesis.
saying so today
So
colloquially, I
Diop
don't think the
also
Christians or the
argued
Hebrew
the
Israelites
Egyptians
or the Muslim would
themselves
consider themselves.
described their race as black, and that there were close affinities between the ancient Egyptians' tongue and the languages of Africa. He argued those. What did Diop Sheikh Anta Diop prove? He proved that ancient Egyptian civilization was a Negro or black in origin.
He proved that.
Proved
What
it.
is
So
you
what
reading?
happened in 1974 then? If he proved it, what happened?
What
Thank
you
you,
reading?
Garfield. And that's
They
not the
Hold on
same
a
continue.
second.
They
They
Hold on a
change
continue
their
second.
position. They
to
say that
fight,
the
Unc
and
ancient
the
does this.
fight
Egyptian
Unc
of
does
continues.
this
Sahara.
all the time, though. This is not nothing new. We do
What
this
you
all the
reading,
time.
bro?
He studied human race and its origins and pre-colonial African culture.
That's not his hypothesis. That wasn't the question I
didn't
asked.
say that was his hypothesis.
But they answer the question.
I said the two hypotheses
I didn't
were
ask you that. Tell me what his hypothesis
that he said
was.
that it was of African origin and the languages were connected to Africa.
But I think we all made that clear.
They called themselves black. And that is still within debate.
They did not call themselves black.
And that is still within debate.
No, they did not call themselves black. We know this.
Pepe the Black, Happy the Black.
And it doesn't mean that he was black. He may have
What about hold on, Juju. What about Pepe the Red? Hold on. What about Pepe the Red?
That was his brother that was lighter skinned.
Okay, so what does Pepe the Red mean? What does Pepe the Red mean?
Just like ask you know what? Since you guys don't get
That's why you shouldn't have ran.
No, since you guys don't get it.
I'm asking a question. What does Pepe the Red mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Or East African, and ask them how they describe.
No, we're not talking about that. You're running right now.
So nobody's running. I'm standing right here.
What does Pepe the Red mean?
Cut that nonsense out.
What does Pepe the Red mean? What does Pepe the Red mean?
That's no problem. That's no problem.
What does Pepe the Red mean? What does it mean?
Like I said, a lighter skinned individual.
And Pepe the Black means what?
A black skinned individual.
No.
That's make it up scholarship, people.
Make it up. But let me finish this.
Prove me wrong.
Let me read this.
Prove it. Go read the text.
All right. At the UNESCO Symposium on the Peopling of Ancient Egypt and the Deciphering of the Meroitic Script in Cairo in 1974, the Black hypothesis and the notion of a homogeneous population in Egypt was proposed. See this? Proposed by Sheikh Anta Diop in his chapter, Origins of the Ancient Egyptians. Numerous objections were made to the ideas propounded by Diop. These objections revealed the extent of a disagreement which remained profound even though it was not voiced explicitly. The disagreement was largely due to what? Methodological issues, for example, the insufficient data to enable provisional conclusions to be drawn with regard to the peopling of ancient Egypt and the successive phases through which it may have passed. The arguments for all sides are recorded in UNESCO's publication, General History of Africa, with the Origin of Egyptians chapter being written by Sheikh Anta Diop, a proponent of the Black hypothesis. Diop's chapter was credited in the general conclusion of the symposium report by the committee, as a painstakingly researched contribution. Consequently, there was a real lack of balance in the discussion among participants. At the 1974 UNESCO conference, several participants other than Diop and Obenga concluded that the Neolithic Egyptian population was indigenous to the Sahara and was made up of people from north and south of the Sahara who had a range of skin colors. Woo! It wasn't black, right? The majority of participants in the conference disagreed with Diop's and Obenga's views. Let me say that again. The majority of the participants in the conference disagreed with Diop's and Obenga's views. Similarly, none of the participants voiced support for an earlier postulation that Egyptians were white with a dark or even black pigmentation. So both sides were knocked out the box. Both sides. Anybody who's saying that they're white, they got kicked out the box. Anybody saying they're black, they kicked out the box.
Right.
But the bottom line to all of this, and let me just scroll all the way up, is mainstream scholars reject the notion that Egypt was a white or black civilization. They maintain that applying modern notions of black or white races to ancient Egypt is anachronistic. In addition, scholars reject the notion implicit in the notion of a black or white Egypt hypothesis that ancient Egypt was racially homogeneous. Instead, skin color varied between the peoples of Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt, and Nubia, who in various eras rose to power in ancient Egypt. Within Egyptian history, despite multiple foreign invasions, the demographics were not shifted substantially by large migration. Let me tell you something. I'm rocking with that because
I'm rocking with 99%. I'm rocking with Jabari when he said that the Egyptians were black the other day. That's what I'm rocking with, bro.
So you're rocking with Diop.
I'm rocking with Jabari.
Jabari's rocking with Diop.
I'm rocking with Diop. I'm a
Diop's in the
Jabari,
conscious community,
and I want to join that shrine.
Diop is not in the conscious community.
What did they disprove with Diop? Are they not indigenous?
Don't ask me the
argument,
question
man.
until you can answer what was his hypothesis.
We just
and then
read it.
We just
Jabari
read
just
it. The black,
read you what
the
they
Negro, the
disproved.
Negro
Get off
Egyptian
that
hypothesis.
soapbox.
We know this. We know his
It's
stance
not an
already.
Egyptian hypothesis, though. You're
Negro
wrong.
Egyptian hypothesis. That's Diop hypothesis.
Just say Juju. I don't know. Can you please tell me?
Juju, go back to church.
Okay,
I
Juju, can you
just went to
explain
church
it to us,
Sunday.
then?
What
Go
are you
back
talking
and do
about?
some more studying.
Yo,
I
why
need to
y'all
do
coming
studying.
at Juju like that? Y'all don't talk
I
to the
need to
men
do
like that.
Yeah,
studying.
we ain't finna
I
do
need to
that
do
now.
studying,
Hold
but
up.
you
No,
can't tell
yeah,
me.
kick him off.
Nah, me
Let
and
me
Juju,
get
we
him.
good.
But
We
you
good.
can't tell
We
me what
good.
his
We good.
Nah,
hypothesis is.
either
It sounds
you
like
gotta
you need to be
apologize,
doing the
bro.
studying.
Treating
You
her
gotta
with
apologize.
kid gloves. She can't be doing it like that.
Nah, bro, you gotta apologize, man.
Apologize for what?
Yes, I can. When y'all do it, it's okay. When I
you
do
It
it,
can't
is
be
okay. It's
disrespecting
okay
Juju,
for
it's
you
no
as
man.
problem.
well. And
Y'all,
you know it's
wow.
okay with you. You are here. We hear you, and you're a strong black
But
woman.
you
We
and
respect
no, I'm not strong
Now we
black
finna
woman.
do
I'm
the strong
Oh
black
vulnerable,
my
woman
goodness!
thing.
and I need a
Come
man.
on,
go
man.
Just like
trying.
everybody else.
No,
Don't
you.
put that on me.
I need a
I'm
woman,
not strong.
and I
Don't put
got
that on
one.
me. Answer the question though.
What?
What was chicken?
Juju is funny as fuck.
This is wild, man.
I'm
So
done.
that's
I'm
not his
done.
Y'all
hypothesis.
wilding
He
out.
said, I need a man.
Jeez.
A strong black woman.
What do you not know?
Your inbox gonna be full up tonight. You should have never said that.
Yeah. Come on,
That's
Garfield,
not a
this is
synopsis of
funny,
Diop's
bro.
stance.
Yo,
That's
everybody
amazing
wants
shot.
Juju, yo.
Oh
Everybody
my
and their
Gullah said he
mama.
got you. Gullah said he got
God. Gullah always got me. I ain't got no problem with Gullah. Yeah.
you. He got you wiped down.
Huh?
I said Gullah got you wiped down.
Anyway, Juju, who's the number
I
one
don't know
scholar?
what that means.
Who's the number one scholar, Juju?
It's a slang term. It's cool.
Hold on, let she
So
go
what
in,
does it
man. Let her
mean?
go
What
in. Let
that
her go in.
mean?
Let her go in. Let her go in.
Nah, she can
I'm
go in on
gonna
her
get
show.
to you, Shabazz. I'm gonna get to you in a second. Go ahead, Juju. The floor is
Juju,
yours.
who's the number one scholar
Number one scholar? I
in the
don't think
in the conscious community?
really.
So Juju, agree with me. We have experts, yes. We have experts,
I mean,
but we don't have the scholars.
I feel like y'all gonna say I'm biased, but if I had to pick one, I don't know. I feel like God, there's not no categories, just overall number
Number
one.
one scholar, Juju.
Oh man,
Who's an expert in his field?
There ain't one. Drink.
I plead the
Drink.
fifth.
Drink champs.
I
Take a drink.
plead the fifth.
DBL.
But why I plead the fifth, I feel like that Garfield and Bobby Banger do the best in the community.
Yeah, they're experts. Garfield is not a scholar. Garfield is an expert.
Yeah, they're but they don't claim to be scholars or experts, right? They're honest about it. So, but they bring
Reggie's the number one scholar in the
but
conscious
they
community.
bring experts and
Dr. Reggie.
scholars to their platforms to have the discussion. So
Thank you, Juju. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I'm like, yeah. I don't know what y'all thought I was gonna say.
No,
If I had to pick,
he
I
brings
will always pick that.
academics. He brings academics to his platform compared to
They're scholars if they're PhDs.
Okay, fine,
You
scholars.
just
He
read the
brings scholars,
definition. Now,
he
why are you
brings
trying to backtrack on
PhDs,
it?
He brings academics, but that does not mean that the people that aren't those people aren't experts in their field. That is what I'm talking about.
Hey, Thunder.
I never deny that we have experts. We have the scholars.
Please, hold on one second. Let me get to Shabazz in a second. Shabazz, come in, and then I want to bring something to the table. A certain topic, and I want everybody to look at it and see what y'all think. All right. Go ahead, Shabazz.
No, I didn't. I wasn't waiting. I was just
all right.
Add on,
I'm gonna talk about this. Right. This might not, and people might not be enthused to talk about this. And y'all press the link. Anybody want to jump on? Press the link. All right. There's an issue in the community, right? Let's look at this slowly. King James is black, right? No, don't laugh.
Right.
I'm going to prove that he's black today.
I'm going to say he is black.
I'm going to prove. Watch this, Juju.
No.
This is bad methodology versus good methodology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the lookership, let's take a look at King James, right? And look at some of his images. And I want people to bear with me in this because this is important to some people. Not
black
all,
or African.
to some people. All right. This is the image that everybody loves right here. This image right here. I don't know if everybody could see. Can everybody see that image? All right.
Yep.
All right. So this is one of the main images that's used. No,
That's
don't,
black.
don't. Yeah, American Dream, you could come on today. You could come on today. What do you call it? I don't want anybody to say whether he's black or white. How would we figure out if he's black or white? And we're gonna put ourselves to the test. We all talk about methodology. Where's Sean at? Mr. Methodology himself. Call him. Y'all tag him in. Let's look at it.
Hey,
now.
can I ask the first question?
Who's that?
That's Obi. Can I ask the first question? You said we're gonna do a methodology.
No. I don't want
right?
I don't want no question yet. What I'm saying is this is one of the images that's used to declare if he's black or white based off of lookership, right? Now, just looking at this picture though, would we say he's somebody of African descent or would we say he's somebody of European descent?
European.
Yeah. Asian.
What you say, Thunder? That's a black man.
That's black. He black as black.
Exactly. All right. Now watch this, family. If you notice something about his features, right? His features show straight here. He got what they call his mustache, a lumbar. What they call it? What they call his mustache?
Big ears.
That's a
what they call it?
Goatee.
The lumbar mustache. This right here.
Handlebar.
Handlebar. Okay. All right. Now, I don't know if he's. Let's say we don't know. This is the first time we're looking at King James. We don't know, right? If he's black or white. Now, this is circulating. Now, here is a problem now. Now, look at this picture right here. Let's back up a little bit now. Back up a little bit. And let's back up a little bit more. So there's more images of this guy. So there's more images. This is Fred, whatever his name is. Forgot what the guy's name is. But let's go to King James anyway.
Hold on. Let me share my screen before you go. Let me share my screen right quick. Before you go.
1 second. Let me see.
Just before you go, Garfield. Just share that right there.
Hold on. Let me see what you're sharing.
All right.
So what do they call it? Oh, the handlebar. The handlebar.
I'm saying that brother right there. He got the slick back, got the mustache.
Yo, he don't even have it. Yo, he don't have it. Nobody even got that, man.
That's King.
You can't even find a
Bati boy.
guy.
That's a Bati boy.
Bati boy. Okay, how about him? What about him? He got it now.
He might be too.
Yeah, nah. Listen, bro. It's plenty of black men with the handlebar. Look at him. He got the slick back. Okay, this mine. It's him, John Henry. I'm gonna say John Henry.
That's not a lumbar. That's not a lumbar.
It's close. It's all they gotta do is twirl it up a little bit, bro.
So you Google handlebar mustache.
What is cross hatching and when is
look at him.
Picture?
Hold on.
He got the slick back here. Is he black or white?
Did King James kill his mother and was his lover a man?
Let me ask you a question.
Who does ask that?
What is he talking about?
Brother Patah.
Why are we bringing that up though?
Because I'm disowning him.
Nah, bro. We just gonna try to figure it out with a methodology.
I'm saying he got the slick back.
No, I'm sure you've done. Have you done the research on his background? On his
We're not talking about that.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his family.
Yo, him and Kwame must be related, yo. They never stay on topic, yo. I swear.
All right, go ahead, share what you about.
All right, so let me go back to this guy right now. So this is what King James, a number of the King James look like, right? So this is King James when he was younger, all right, by an unknown artist.
That's a king. Come on, man. That's horrible.
That's when he was young.
That's horrible.
All right. Look at the eyes, though. Look at the eyes.
What do the eyes mean?
Look at the eyes. Let's look at the eyes, though, because in all the pictures, the eyes pretty much look the same. This is from an unknown artist, 1590, oil and paint. Could be fake. They could have made it up. This is King James with the mustache again.
Got the mustache.
Yeah, they could have made that up. So there's over 100, almost 200 portraits of this guy, right? But I wanted to get to something real carefully. So if you look at these ones here, this is something that's drawn by John de Kreitz. It's a legitimate when he was alive. This was done when he was alive, right? And by the way, to pay attention to this picture, because this picture is the one on Patterson's book that they use also. All right. So they're saying that these pictures are whitewashed. That's the claim that they're making. They're whitewashed.
They are. Everybody know that King James was a black man.
So y'all gonna try to decipher someone's race by painted portrait that's not even using skin complexion color?
Yes.
Like that. Well, that's not really. I mean, you can't prove. That's gonna be if you're just trying to use phenotypes. I mean, maybe by the one drop rule, he might be black, but that hair is that? Are you trying to say he's from Africa?
Look right there. Look right there. That's an African right there.
Yo, King James could have got 10 drops. He's still not African.
That's an African right there.
What region of Africa are you talking about? What region of Africa are you talking about?
Let me ask y'all a question.
Because that's not a West Africa.
Let me ask you a question.
Right there. Oh, they text Mr. Methodology himself.
Are y'all under the impression that all Africans have nappy hair? That what you saying?
Well, I'm asking you what region.
Y'all better watch y'all mouth.
I'm saying no African.
If you're talking
like
about, if you're talking about North African region,
no,
you might have an argument.
Stay. Answer my question. You made.
But look at this picture right here. Does he look like somebody in your community? If we do look at
he
shit,
looks like my next door neighbor. He's black. That's who he looks like.
That complexion. I
also look like Azar.
I mean, what complexion is that supposed to be?
He looks like my brother Captain Tazariak. That's who he look like. And Tazariak is black.
Hey, Garfield. Quit playing, man. King James ain't black, bro. We got his tree.
On here, just.
Bro, no, I just came on here real quick, Garfield. You was looking at me.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really make an argument.
That don't mean he's not black, though.
Nah, he ain't black at all.
What'd you say?
Black. Are you black, Sean?
No, he's not black at all.
I mean,
ain't nobody black.
He might be one drop.
No, he is not. No, he's not one drop either. He's not one drop. He's not one drop either. His genealogical tree tells you that he is not. If you go look at his tree, he's not.
That is
has no affiliation.
King James was black.
I agree with you, bro. The genealogy,
he's clearly black.
I mean, I'm not going off of these painted.
Thunder. How did you come to the conclusion that he's that? According to what evidence?
That's black.
What evidence do you have? No. What evidence do you have? No. What evidence do you have? Your neighbor is not your neighbor does not suffice as evidence.
Right here looks like he looks.
No. So you don't have no proof. You just have it looks like.
Let me ask you a question. Does he look like a black man right here with that hat on?
No, he does not.
You tripping?
No, you tripping.
That's why they didn't paint him with that complexion.
It's not even necessarily if they painted him a complexion or not. It's the simple fact that you know where he comes from and who his family members are.
Yeah, for sure, but we don't have. What I'm trying to say is, we don't have any photograph pictures of his genealogy. So I'm just saying.
No, you don't have any You don't have any photographic pictures of him, but you have paintings of him. You have artwork of him. You have look-alike replicas of King James. However, you also have his tree.
But you know,
with his tree. No, hold on, bro. No, listen, bro. Let me finish.
From the actuality.
Listen to hear, not to respond. His tree is the evidence that refutes the analogy of him being black.
So Cleopatra was black.
Which Cleopatra are you referring to? Don't get quiet. Don't no. Don't get quiet. Which queen? Which Cleopatra are you referring to?
The one on the Ptolemaic.
No, ain't no one under. No. You don't even know which queen that is.
I just told you which one.
No, you did not. There's several under that. So which queen are you referring to?
How many queens of how many Queen Cleopatra was of the Ptolemaic kingdom? Ptolemaic period. Which one?
A few of them. A few of them.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
A few of them.
No, I wouldn't.
Apparently, you're unfamiliar.
Well, I'll get familiar right quick then. If you tell me,
Nah.
okay, they said it was 7.
Go Google. Go do your best job to go Google.
You said clean. You said 7, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was
Get
just one.
the Googling. Get the Googling.
I'm doing it right now.
Just let him know that the one that was with
Get the
Julius
Googling.
Caesar. He's talking about the one that was with Julius
I don't
Caesar.
know how we could answer King James was black with nothing being problematic, but as soon as it comes to the Egyptian, it's very problematic.
No, we know where the whole
Well, at
notion
least
of King James being that's a myth. It came from stupid. Well, I ain't gonna call them stupid people, but it came from people that was pushing an agenda or some sort of pushback,
Well, they
and
in the
people
black
then.
people in Scotland. Are they in the black
Oh
people?
my gosh, bro!
Well, they will be
They were of
called
Africa.
indigenous.
They were of
Let me
African descent.
get this out before we turn into an argument. All right. And by the way, to Kwame, if you were listening earlier, I said is he of African descent when I first said it to Thunder. But of course you wouldn't hear that. You want to jump on
I didn't hear. I just
on,
heard black.
on you want to jump on this crazy guy here who plays our side, Sheffrin side. Sheffrin is a troll right now. He's being a troll. Garfield and Shaw know what black is when they're dealing with King James, but don't know it. Of course, because we're living in a modern time, we know what we mean by that. And as a matter of fact, to referring to King James as black is actually correct because they called white people black in England at the time. So actually, in context, we are correct. Not that we were trying to be correct on that. We were speaking in a modern day, colloquially right now, but we weren't speaking about that. But you know,
but that's old English.
But anyway,
we're not speaking old English.
Pause for a second. Pause for a second, brother. All right, relax for a second. Everything is not an argument. Now, if you look at the portraits, you see some that has him looking dark and it's confusing. But one thing that's consistent with all these pictures that I notice is that the King James pictures, these pictures are all line engraving. These are not portraits that are drawn.
They're etching. They're etchings.
Right.
They're metal. Etching.
Hatching. So, brother Ankh taught me this because I never knew this until I watched Ankh's video. This is what they're actually doing. They're doing something that's called cross hatching. So, cross hatching, ladies and gentlemen, is especially important in essential. Let me read it right here. Is an artistic technique used to create a tonal or shading effects by drawing closely spaced parallel lines. When lines placed at an angle to one another, it is called cross hatching.
Yeah, but
hatching is also. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I haven't even talked for the whole show. I make everybody talk. Just let me finish talking. It is also called cross hatching. Hatching is also sometimes used to encode colors in monochromatic representation of color images, particularly in heraldry. Hatching is especially important. Hold on, the technique. Let me see what it talks about here, the main technique. So pretty much all these black and white pictures that you see is either through engraving or line engraving or through cross hatching. So when you look at these images of King James, you're going to see all this cross hatching technique on line engraving. These are not the artists, but these certain images that I talked about before, I'm going to show you these ones are actually by artists who actually drew King James. Let me get to that right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. Like this one here. This is by Daniel Mittens. It's oil on canvas, 1621, while King James was alive. And if you notice this picture here, there's different versions of this picture. You'll see some clothes, they'll take this off and all that stuff. You'll see different versions of this. But this is an actual portrait, somebody drawing it.
Not Sharon Garfield.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Hold on there. Thank you, my brother. Thanks for paying attention to what I'm saying, because obviously everybody is. This right here is by this is another drawing by John DeCritz while he was alive. That's the important part. While he was alive. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Remember I told you earlier to look at the eyes? All right, here's another one right here. Rosy cheeks. Yeah, this is the one that's used a lot. Different versions of this one. He's dark, light.
Yes.
You can remove both of the ability and belly. The LPN and the HHA.
So this is by an unknown artist, published 1902. So this is not a legitimate image. This is just somebody drawing something off of what they probably heard. So I wouldn't even use this in arguing anything about King James. Anything that you're going to argue King James got to be while he was alive. Because then you could trace down who the painter was and look for the records. King James, there goes your black man, Thunder. 1603. Etching. Cross hatching, is it etching? Sitter, artist, okay.
It's an etching.
I have no idea.
What an etching is, Garfield, is that what they normally do is base it on metal plates, and it allows you to make many prints of the same picture. So they originally carved the portrait on a metal plate, use black ink, place the paper over it, and press it down. So because they normally use dark color ink, all of the persons normally come out as dark color. One of the most famous etching in the world is George the Dragon Slayer. Is George a black man? The etching it appears to be dark in complexion. But the etching is metal plate. So, and it was a cheaper way to allow more reproduction of an image that could be sold or sent to people.
Hey, share my screen, Garfield.
Hold on 1 second.
Now I said and listened to y'all, right? No problem. So shout out to Sean. Y'all say that.
You sure you want to use black people? Yes, because you know these people are sensitive when you use the word black.
Yes. I want to use black. This is the Library Museum Archive Archaeology, John Gray Center. Black people in Scotland. First of all, when was King James born? King James was
born in Scotland.
He was born in Scotland, but he was born around in the 1500s or something there, right?
1566, I think.
All right. So
62.
The identity of black Scottish people has evolved since the arrival of black people in Scotland as early as the 15th century, with significant numbers arriving in the 20th century around World War II. The development of a cohesive black Scottish identity has progressed, with black African and Afro-Caribbean descent being the most commonly claimed ancestry. The following are a few examples. The medieval period. The popular assumption is that black people arrived in Scotland in the 18th century or even later. Some sources suggest that in the early 16th century, some Africans were high status members of the royal entourage. For example, records show that the court of, I'm going to say King James, there was an African, Peter the Moor, who was free to travel and was given 5 French crowns at the king's request for a journey to France. So I must say that there were black people in Scotland and that King James was one of them.
Question, brother. How much of those black people belong to the House of Stuart? I'm not denying black people in. All right, because King James is a descendant of the House of Stuart.
Right now, the Stuart lineage. That's all I'm looking for right now. I'm about to put it up. That's what I'm about
So
to
I
put up.
need to.
We'll
I
get
needed
to
to
that.
show me. I needed to show me black people who belong to the House of
We'll get to
Stuart.
that later, but let's establish that there were black.
Was all right. We can.
Let's
But I'll
establish
agree with you on that.
that there were
I
black
will agree.
people in Scotland.
Yes.
Okay,
In the
let's get
1500s,
that established first,
right?
and we have record that some Africans were high status members of the royal entourage. Can we agree with that? 16th century.
I will even give you that. We know Mary.
All right.
We know King James' mother was Mary, Queen of Scots. Will you agree with that?
I'm gonna do a little work.
All right. Would you agree that? Would you agree that Mary?
James to be black before it said
Right.
he gonna be black, bro.
No. Was King James' mother was Mary, Queen of Scots? Do you know who Mary, Queen of Scots' father was?
No matter. They got all kind of
right.
They got all kind of drawings of King James. I'm gonna show you King James.
Look up his mother and father. Mary's Queen of Scots' father was who?
Why weren't black people called black in England? That alone kills the whole argument. Because think about it. And by the way, King James made a play called The Mask of Blackness, and his wife and everybody wore blackface. Why wear blackface if you're black?
No, black people wore blackface.
Black people wore blackface when?
You know, okay, let's do this. So
they had to wear. Hold on. They had. Hold on. Here's what the story. Hold on. Let me finish.
I got you.
I got you.
No, you don't got me.
You.
Watch, I got you.
Why didn't they call them black people? Why didn't they call them black?
Let's start with.
Hold on. Why didn't they call people in England black?
Why
didn't they call them black?
Why
didn't they call people in Scotland? You know the word for black people meant devil. They didn't call black people that. They call them blue people. So there you go again in Scotland. So what are you talking about? Which black people do they talk about in England?
I got you, my man. Watch this. I got you. We finna show these black people that wore blackface. Let's get to that first, and then we'll come to whatever you coming to. All right. Share my screen. This is Jay's story. I'm sure everybody should be aware of what Jay's story is, right? All right. When black celebrities wore blackface.
What time period is this? During the holidays.
This is in the Americas.
My brother, we're talking in the UK, beloved.
Nah.
Show me in the UK in the 1600s. Show me in the UK.
You can't move the goalpost, man. So
I'm not moving it.
You moving it.
You did that.
Moved the goalpost.
You did all of that.
Goalpost. So we got them right here. We got Burt Williams. We got Walker. They wearing blackface.
You know what they use also? They use Benjamin Franklin's speech when he called them swarthy. The people swarthy. He said swarthy means black. They say swarthy means black. So if they use swarthy to call African Americans or black folks in general. They would call them swarthy, which is not
George Walker.
What they did.
George Walker, Burt Williams wearing blackface. We got whoever this is.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Not black people. They didn't call black people swarthy. They called white people who were less white than them. Because the British thought they were the whitest white folks. They thought they were the ultimate. They were the big bad white people.
All coons looking like to me. Listen, we got black people wearing blackface, bro. We got it on the record. We got pictures and everything. So look at this right here. Those some white people.
All right, I got you. You won.
Those are Those ain't no photos.
He didn't win because that wasn't during the time period y'all were talking about. Don't give him that garbage.
We gotta look at things in context, right? When we're looking at things in context, it's like when you look at these guys, they're called dark Negroid, right? And they're considered the Negroid types. This is from the Jews, a study of the race and environment, page 117. I forgot what the guy's name is. But let me get it right here. But I wanted you guys to look at something.
Yeah,
but hold on 1 second, beloved. 1 second. It's a nice Jewish family in Suriname. Look at them. Beautiful. Don't look like none of our people over there. The use of black, dark, or swarthy for non-black individuals. So now, when we look at Walt Whitman, he's another one. Behold this swarthy face. Swarthy is a word that's tricky. That's used. So look at this. Walt Whitman, 1890 to 1892. European descriptions of swarthy or tawny are inconsistent. Different people during the time periods, you will see that this swarthy stuff is just out of the norm.
Somebody need to mute up.
The Jews wearing yellow badges, of course, in the medieval time period to identify themselves, and that's what they look like. This guy was considered swarthy, Baruch Spinoza. Olive skin, look at this guy, they're considered swarthy. Look at this lady.
Ain't black.
Hold on, look at Gwendolyn Ruth Hicks. She was called Black Irish.
No, go back to that. Go back. That he ain't black.
Who you talking about? Homeboy in the middle, right?
Right there in the middle.
He has olive skin. Yeah, he's considered to be an African American because he has one.
Yeah, you go. Exactly.
He has one parent that's quote unquote African American.
That's fine. So he's if you look at a picture, yeah, he white. No, he is black.
He's white and black. Is he not white though?
Yeah, he's mixed. He's mixed.
Everybody mixed. He's black.
What about Al Capone?
Well, his parents.
What about Al Capone?
Black, he I'm talking about his parents.
What about Al Capone? Was he dark and swarthy?
Depending on the syntax.
Depending on the syntax. Parents? What do you mean the syntax? What do you mean?
Well,
no, it depends. It's black and white photos, so I think that's erroneous to try to say how dark they are with black and white photos because it can actually be attributed to the processing of the photo itself. But you know, what do I know? I'm a woman, right?
Yeah, what is this?
I still ain't done with y'all on that hypothesis.
I'm not showing swarthy throughout history. That's what I'm doing.
Juju is a woman, so therefore she knows nothing.
No, but Garfield, you had said that the person was dark Negroid, but
I'm an obedient woman too.
And she's obedient, so she definitely don't know anything.
What I mean, like to us, Klay Thompson would be light skinned, but to a white person, they would consider Klay Thompson a dark skinned person.
Yeah, because of his father.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they would consider.
Y'all could do what your father is. That what y'all about to do now?
No. I'm just saying that his genealogy, his father is, a black man. So he's mixed, but society rules consider him a black person. But he's actually biracial.
I'm not even talking
only in the United States.
I was about to say which society.
Only in the United States that foolishness goes around. Ain't nobody who's black outside of it considers that person black. That's a month. I mean, a mixed person.
I just say he's biracial. I mean, he's whatever.
I mean, that's
he's a mulatto. He's a mule. He's a white man's creation.
But his father, since his father is black, that's why he can identify with
black. And he's black, and you can't get around that. Klay Thompson,
no.
All these guys black, man.
Hey,
y'all just insecure in y'all blackness.
In America,
see, white people don't do that. Y'all insecure in y'all blackness. Bro, I don't need him to be. I don't need him to be black. I don't need him to be black. He's not black.
You can look.
He is. Well, are you black?
Black?
Yeah, I'm black.
Black or African? Like, what do you?
He the same. He the same color as you, probably, bro.
Ain't the same color. No, I'm dark skinned. I'm darker than you.
So Thunder, you don't think that someone
a lot of people
is biracial? You don't think that someone who is biracial can identify with one part of their race more than the other?
We all biracial.
No. And plus, most biracial people in America are mostly white anyway, because they have the white DNA coming from the black parent too. So most of them end up being 60 and all that. So they more white than anything.
That's what I'm saying. You can look at you look at Patrick Mahomes, right? Yes, his complexion is light skinned, but it looks like he identifies more with his Caucasian ethnicity than his black.
Is he black or white?
Hey,
Hey,
if you're
Garfield.
talking about by
Is
society
Patrick
rules,
Mahomes' children
he's
black?
one drop. He has one. Yeah, so he's black. But I'm not talking about that though. I'm
That's what
talking about how
you got.
Is his
how he
children black?
identifies himself.
Hey, Garfield.
Is Patrick
Last
Mahomes'
question.
children black?
You said what?
Is Patrick Mahomes' children black?
Is he
He got him with a
changing?
white woman.
By the
No,
one drop
is his
rule,
kids? Is
yes,
his
they are
kids?
black,
Is his kids
even
black?
though they can be pastors.
No,
His
his kids
kid.
ain't
I
black.
mean, yeah, because he has a white wife or girlfriend or
By the
whatever.
one drop rule, yes, they are.
But the one drop rule is something created
What's
by
the
white
one
people.
drop?
Stop
What's the
playing
one
that one
drop
drop
rule?
rule. That's trash.
One drop
Everybody
rule
has one
is
drop.
American
One.
society
Yeah,
standard
but
for black. What do you
yeah,
mean
but
you're
No,
not
no,
playing
no, it's
that
not. No,
rule?
it's not because it wasn't in
Yes,
Louisiana.
it
Is
is.
Louisiana part of
It's actually
America?
written in
It
law.
wasn't in Louisiana,
It's actually written
and
in
it's not.
law.
It's written in what do you call it? It's written in Jim Crow, but Jim Crow wasn't everywhere in the United States. That's just the South.
yeah. I mean, so many people have one drop of black in them. I
What's the
mean,
one drop
they're
rule,
not a
James?
Huh?
What's the
Yeah,
one
that's
drop rule?
erroneous. Jim Crow was just in the South, but those
What?
laws are everywhere, even up till New York, even
What
across the California. Are
what
you
is the
kidding
one
me?
drop rule?
The one drop rule is something is a
You have one drop
concept
of black blood.
that you got one drop of
You're
black blood.
Negro.
But
Juju.
that's only what one. That's but here's the thing: was the people who came up with that they were mostly of
Hey
English descent,
James,
right?
what's the
These
one
were
drop
these
He's
were
rule?
black.
Southern white people, but
Yeah,
this
you
wasn't the
can
case with
lie to
Spanish.
people
It
and
wasn't
act
it
James.
tough.
wasn't the case for the Spanish.
Hey
No, you
James.
Because if
can
you
lie
had a
to
Spanish
people.
father,
I need you
you
to
were
redact
considered
that.
free.
Hey
Because if
James,
that was
what's
Huh?
the
the
one
case,
drop
white
But
rule?
people wouldn't need that green book
well,
to travel
Juju, come
anywhere in the
on,
United
man. And
States.
then when we holler, then you be
Lion.
I'm not
quiet.
denying that history. That history existed,
Hey
but
Juju.
that's not
Hey
a
James,
that's
what's the one
that's not
drop
a
rule?
whole thing.
James, what's the one drop
The
rule?
one drop rule
Racism was
is
all over this country.
we understand that, but they
Yeah,
manifested it in different ways and with different definitions. Not
James,
all
what's
Europeans
the
practice
one
that the
drop
same way. That's all I'm
rule,
saying, Sister
man?
Juju.
We're
That's
not
all I'm
talking
saying.
about Europeans. We're talking about Americans.
James, and
Oh
Juju
my God,
still
is
being around.
Louisiana is Louisiana part of the United
Hey
States?
James, what's the
But they
one
do not
drop?
go by that rule.
Hey James, what's the one drop rule?
Yes,
The
they
one
do.
drop rule is saying that if you have one
Racism.
drop of black blood, which is crazy, blood quantum, that you are a black person. That's what that is.
Okay, the one drop rule
yeah.
asserted that
It's an outdated metric.
the one drop rule asserted that any person with even one ancestor of black ancestry is
Hmm.
considered black. That is the one drop rule.
Okay.
All right.
And now,
Why are we applying that to King James, who did not live anywhere in the United States?
King James, were there any black people in Scotland in the 1500s?
Yes, a couple,
A
but it
couple.
wasn't a whole community. It wasn't a community though. So there wasn't a black community in the 1500s.
Yeah, I got you.
It was like one or two black people. That's it.
Man, what you're doing
yeah,
is
but
making
I don't.
yourself. I want you to keep that
But
same
King James is not among those people
keep the
Hey,
same
because we know who his father is.
keep the
It's his
same
father,
when
King
we
James' father.
Don't come in here
when
being
we
doggone ridiculous and then want to clam up when we ask you to sit. Come on now, keep it
I
at
yeah,
did. I asked it. I answered it.
no, you
I'm
didn't. You
just
said only
saying.
a couple. No, it was more than two black people. And
but
But
when
that's
we
why I
saying
said
black,
a couple
when
is
we
two.
saying black, when we saying black Scottish, are we talking about just dark skinned Scottish people or people from Africa in
people that
Scotland?
from Africa that resided in Scotland in the 1500s.
Okay, that's fine. Now, do we have any record of these people and their genealogy? We can't just assume that just because there was some people there that this person was related to them. There's no do we don't we just you just read a text that said there were people. It don't say the names of who they are. Who are they in history? We don't. That doesn't mean that just because there were some there in the region that we can just start connecting people to them just because of their complexion. Complexion just means that's your skin complexion. It doesn't necessarily tie you to a genealogy to a people.
Hey, Thunder. Let's get real. We know that King James the First of England, his mother was Mary, Queen of Scots. Was she ever
And her
described as a
father
black person?
was, and her father was. We know who her father was also.
Share my screen, Godmother. All
Hmm.
right.
But
We
So
have
Hebrews want to
pictures of
go
her
by the father.
father.
Right
let's read
now,
it
we
again.
also know King James' father.
Let's keep
Right?
on reading.
Huh? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Read it.
In 1506, 2 enslaved African women arrived in Leith and were presented as gifts to who? You see what I'm saying? We listen.
What are
Y'all
you
got
saying though? You're killing
y'all got.
Yeah,
yourself.
what?
Listen.
King James
Yeah,
what?
yeah. That
Yo,
doesn't
you know
that
when you
doesn't
Google something
that
and you
doesn't
read it right?
yeah
Everybody
that
just slow
doesn't
down, right?
Go ahead.
that
Go
All
doesn't
ahead.
I'm
mean they're
saying
Read
related.
that. Read
That
it.
doesn't mean they're related.
no, all I'm
Yeah,
saying
go read that,
is
man.
It
all
doesn't
I'm
mean they're
saying is
related.
don't
He is
get
from the
too
Stuart
high.
line. They're related.
Don't get too high
It
on your
doesn't mean
horse
they're
now.
related.
Don't get too high on your horse because if I keep going, y'all gonna be no, just relax. But it's some possibility, bro. Just relax. That's all.
Possibility about what?
There's
So
some
yeah,
possibility.
That
but
is the King James we're talking about. He's King James the Fourth of Scotland, King James the First of England.
It's a
But
Yeah,
but
he's
I'm trying
both.
to figure. Hold on. Pause. What is that source supposed to do though? But they were gifts to him. Gifts, as
yeah,
in probably slaves or
yeah.
panhandlers, workers.
they had to get it on, and we
Bro,
saying
you know, Queen Victoria was a virgin, right?
and
You said she,
yeah,
you know, she
well,
was a
that's
virgin,
what they
right?
say. But
All right.
I'm
Now let me
telling
ask you
you,
this. Let me ask you this.
that those girls that
Ain't
were
Elizabeth.
presents, I don't think
It was
that
Queen
they
Elizabeth,
were.
right? Okay.
I'm
Hey,
pretty
let me ask
sure
you
that
this though. Why were
I'm
they
pretty
kicking
sure
people
they
out?
were.
Why were they kicking black people out?
Who?
Why were they kicking black people out of England?
Who?
Why did King James help to start the slave trade from the British perspective? Why did King Charles II help with the transatlantic slave trade?
That
When
all
you
those
say
things
black, what you mean?
have none. Why? Okay, you gonna use that logic? Why did Ghanaians enslave Africans? Why did South Africans?
But that's
There was no
okay.
Ghana at the time.
You
No,
can't use
let's not
that
be too
logic. So
technical.
you saying?
Well, let me
So you
let me
saying
ask you this.
because
Let me ask you this. Let me
because
ask you this
you
though.
okay. Go ahead. There you
Let me
go.
ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Let me
Go
ask
ahead.
you. What was the word for black people in Scotland and Ireland?
What's the word for black people in Scotland? Africans.
Nah, you got to go to Omniglot for that one. You see, they didn't call black people because the word for black people was devil. So they
No,
never
black
called them
people.
black people.
We
What
call
they did
ourselves black
was
people
they
here.
called them
That's
blue
okay.
people. As I said before, in Gaelic, they call them blue people. They didn't call them black people. And the black Irish, that means they were separate because the black Irish
No,
had
we
nothing to
use
do
it
with being black.
anachronistically. That's what we say.
No, they didn't
I'm
use because
saying,
black to us means something different today. This is why I want to get that black woman called Kim Hall, who is the greatest mind on this subject. Been trying to get her for 4 years now. She's the #1 scholar. She's who white folks sent me to say, hey, get this woman here because she has all the information you want on King James and blackness in that time period. Because black don't mean black the way we use it today.
Africans.
They call them
African.
Ethiopians. They call them blackamoor, or they call them Negroes.
Blackamoor.
Negroes are direct
Africans.
African slaves from the slave trade. They didn't call them black. They call their own people black. Oh, you're black because you're darker than the average white person. I'm serious. So they call themselves swarthy. They
I
call
don't
everybody
know.
else, and that comes from the British.
Yeah, but the people that encountered Africans, they called them, Latin, those European terms like Niger, Negro, stuff like that. They were talking about Africans. They weren't okay. What about the people in the Indus who are dark skinned? They didn't call them black.
The people that what?
That were in the Indus.
Indus Valley.
What? Yeah, they didn't call them black. Like how they
say that again. The people that what?
In the Indus, like what is India right now?
Indus Valley. Yes, they call. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. Yes, they did. If you read the explorers, they call him black because even when they're differentiating, even in Herodotus' time, they talked about that the Egyptians were more northern and the people who were in the south were more like the Ethiopians,
But
trying to say that
when
they
they
had different skin tones.
no, but when they
Wait, hold on. When they talk about the Jews, they talk about the people who are black. They have black Jews who are black. So they talk about them being black.
but when they divide up race with the Caucasoid, Negroid, and Mongoloid, Indus, they don't fall on the Negroid. They fell under, I believe it was the Mongoloid.
Wow, what happened? Something happened?
Oh, I can hear.
Okay, yeah. All right. I was on mute. My bad.
Okay.
Let me see. I was trying to pull something up right quick.
So there was a time when the Indian people considered themselves black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, because this is the first time I'm hearing that.
Southern Indians in East India are Dravidians, or what they call untouchables, because of their darkness.
Okay, so because I've never heard them. I just recently heard of Indian people just saying that just for here in America because they're using it to get into. They claim they showed how they use the the civil rights stuff to get into college, but I didn't know that they were ever referred to as black. I thought they were always something separate.
What do you mean? Something separate? Yes.
Like
genetically, East Indians are genetically different than a West African or an East African. They're considered Asian.
I agree with that.
Hold on, Obi. Hold on 1 second. Juju, are you finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to make a point. Remember, when we're reading words, right? And this is the problem with the Medjugorje. I'm not an expert on the Medjugorje, but I'm an expert on having common sense. Remember, when somebody's giving you a dictionary, they're using the best word at the time that they feel fits it best. That fits what in their mindset, that fits the category best. It's just like at one point they would say Melancros means black, but then it had a range where it included Greeks. The Greeks at the time, they were primarily they didn't look like how Africans would look per se. So they had a range. So it included Syrians, it included Greeks, it included Cyprians, people from all over the areas where we know they weren't just dark-skinned people. So dark skin is dark skin compared to what Greeks normally look like. So when it said Ethiopios, if you study that word, they're basically saying that those people are dark. They are darker than us. So when they use this range, because at one point they actually call Ethiopians, there's one reference to it being Melancros. Again, it could mean dark skin. Dark skin has very much ranges. It goes back to the term swarthy. The word swarthy can mean dark skin. We use that word swarthy loosely. In the dictionary, it says it means black. But that has a finality. But that's the best word for that time when the person is trying to put a dictionary together. So when we look at these words nowadays in a modern day context and we see black, it's confusing. So sometimes when we see black, and sometimes I use it loosely, but sometimes it's based on what the person is saying at that time period and what it might mean. So we got to be careful.
Garfield, can I ask you? Oh,
I've been on mute for like 20
minutes. Obi, hold on, let Obi get it out because I cut him off. Go ahead, Obi.
No, so what I was going to ask you is, so this is just let me ask you how you personally, when with black, do you identify, well, I know you said before you don't even like the term, but let's just say that's what everybody uses. So me personally too, I don't really like, I like more identifying by ethnicity vice color of skin. But, just for the sake of this conversation, do you when you hear black, are you identifying it with skin complexion, or are you identifying it with like region,
social
ethnicity?
class. Okay. Oh, when
Yeah,
African Americans are black, they're definitely black. When in the Caribbean, is definitely you have black people in the Caribbean island, but that's a Western thing. That's not
yeah.
an everybody thing. We're trying to impose our Western mindset on everybody in the world, and we can't do that.
So what would you call
Problem.
like down in the Caribbean? Remember like
I just said that
Arawaks,
there's
right?
black people in the. I just said there's black people in the Caribbean too, but it has to
No,
do
no.
with context.
What's your definition of black then? If there's black people in the Caribbean,
Again, it's a Western world context. Again,
Okay, I got. So
social construct is alive and well. It's a
Are
Western
you
world
using black
concept.
interchange?
It's a Western
so
world concept.
no, but
I would
I'm
say
not. I'm
nobody
not
is
talking.
black. Nobody is white.
Can
We're
you
just
explain the
racialized.
concept then? With the concept then?
People are racialized into these categories. Like nobody is actually black or white. We're just
Hold on.
racialized that way.
Hold on.
I believe
I
We're
know you ain't
racialized.
saying it ain't no such thing as race, James.
Because if
Hold
black,
on.
Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I
if
said
black
people
is
are
not
racialized
James, you
as
said it wasn't no
such.
black or white, James.
There are ethnicities, but certain ethnicities
James,
are racialized
I
as such.
said
That's what I'm saying.
when I
if
said
people
there's no such thing as
Oh
race,
my God, we're not.
if
James.
This exists, okay? Because people
All right,
generally
man.
don't work on that framework.
I
All
thought you
right,
were back off that.
we could say technically, but nobody works on that framework. Everybody works on the framework as
You
if race
better back
exists.
off of that, James.
That's what it is. That's what I'm
You
saying.
better get back
So
off of that
so
shit.
so
That's all.
me dealing from day to day, people believe that race exists. All right, so it does exist because people act on that belief. All right,
You
it
you
doesn't
you
exist
so
technically,
what did
but
you
people
mean
back
when
act
you
you
on
said
that
back
belief.
blacks in the
I
Caribbean?
made you back up a little bit. That's all. I just want you to back up a little bit.
Okay.
is black today used synonymous with African?
No.
African descent.
African
African
descent.
descent.
Black people are black African Americans.
So
But it's
black.
also they also use the term for Australian Aborigines and people in Papua New Guinea and all that other stuff.
Exactly. That's why the term is problematic. Because then you will have to
Mm-hmm.
define which black are you.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah, but
that terminology was made by us. It was applied to them people. Now you can apply it to whoever you want to,
Black
but
was
They
made
black
by
call them black
African
since the
Americans.
1800s.
black
Yeah,
people
Can,
are African
no.
can I
Americans.
say something, please? Can I
that's
say something,
facts.
please?
Yeah, let me make this point. That's facts because we say
That's not fact.
yeah, it is as far
It
as
is.
black
All right.
is. I
Okay.
agree with you on that. Let me finish the point though. Like it can be exclusive to African Americans, yes, because that's how it came up.
Ow.
And yes, we know that it can be applied to the Africans in the diaspora if that's where you're going, Stupies. We're not going to
No,
denounce
no, no, no.
but it's exclusive, but it's not exclusionary.
How is it
That's what I
exclusive to
want to say.
African Americans?
Can I say something now, please?
Yeah.
Black, the terminology black was given to people with a certain descriptor wherever the colonizer went, especially in English. Spanish refer to those people as Negro, was still translated to black. But no person in Africa was calling himself black before the
Yeah,
colonizer.
I
No.
agree
So,
with
I
that.
I agree.
so let me finish.
I
Let me
agree.
finish
So
briefly,
so
please.
what do
Let
the
me finish.
people? What do
Let me
Sudan
finish.
mean?
So
Let him
black
finish.
was not exclusive to the African American.
What does
Yes, it
Sudan
was.
mean?
Is if it's exclusive to anybody, is the person who named everybody black was the English colonizers. They are the one who named the people black. They started out with Negro and
Negro
they
was
ended up with
before
black.
English.
And that
Yeah,
happened in the
well,
Yeah, no,
diaspora,
but
Europe. Talking
Stupies.
about
Negro was
Europe.
before
Europe.
But
England,
that
but
happened in
black
the
was
Americas,
England. It's the
Stupies.
Hey,
colonizers.
can I interrupt
It
for
did
one
not
second?
happen in
The
America.
Spanish was colonizing before the English.
Then what did that
Can I
happen?
Europe.
interrupt? Can I
Europe.
interrupt for 1 second? Everybody, put time out for 1 second. Sumerians call themselves black-headed. Sumerians never call themselves black-headed. Does everybody know why Garfield said that? Tony Apsu, you know why Garfield said that? The Sumerians never call themselves black-headed people. People call them supposedly black-headed. But watch this though. Remember what I just said about the dictionary? The dictionary has been upgraded. This is the dictionary today. It used to mean that. Now, logically, it means something else. It means humankind. So when we run around and speak about what means and what means, we got to get up to date. We're not the experts. Humanity, it has to do with humanity or humankind. It means black-headed one. But who is calling the people that though? That's the people in old Babylon time period doing the talking. It's not the Sumerians calling themselves that. It's other people in the Akkadian calling. I just wanted to make that clear.
Right, because Mesopotamia wasn't a full. Yeah.
Okay, let me finish with this because I figure out
Hold
now.
on, the people.
Garfield, and my
Right here.
time is up. But I appreciate the discourse. Good night, y'all.
All right.
Good night, Juju.
Good night, Juju.
Good night, Juju.
Gakidi means blackhead. It actually means humanity today in the dictionary. Go argue with the linguistic experts. Make up your own conspiracy theory. Oh, they don't want to say they're blackheads. It makes logical sense. Humanity or humankind makes more sense. I'm not the expert.
Hey, Garfield, are you gonna do a show on Abraham birthplace soon?
Birthplace?
Yeah, because
I'm going to do a show on did Abraham exist, logically speaking? I mean, based off the evidence that we have, but or is his story plausible?
Okay, that sounds good. Cause I see a lot of people confuse it as Abraham from Iraq or Turkey.
Oh, okay. I don't think they're confused. I think the story confused them.
Based on your expertise, what would you say based on the story?
I think you just changed the whole conversation that I was talking about.
Oh, pardon.
Well, who am I? Go ahead, Thunder. You got it.
Share my screen, man.
It was stupid.
Oh, okay.
Because
here goes Stu P. This for you, Stu P. So we got Negro, right? This is 50s. Negro all the way back, right? You got the Negro College Fund, you got the NAACP, all those things was popping off in the early 1900s.
Time out. Stop 1 second. That's false. Black-headed, my brother. Again, it was previously in the dictionaries translated as black-headed ones or black-headed. It has upgraded to humanity and humankind. This is not. It's not rocket science. It's just that when we hear the word black, man, we ready to. That's us.
It is. By the 1950s, the dominant position of Negro was secure. It was standard term used by black organizations and was widely accepted by both black and white media. But as the civil rights movement began making tangible progress in the late 1950s and early 60s, the term Negro itself eventually fell under attack. In order to break from the past and to shed the remnants of slavery and racial serfdom, it was argued that a new name was needed. Negro was criticized as imposed on blacks by whites, as denoting subservience, complacency, and Uncle Tomism. And instead, black was promoted as standing for racial pride, militancy, power, and rejection of the status quo. Black was initially favored by radical and militant blacks in such groups as the Black Muslims and the Black Panthers. Especially influential was Stokely Carmichael, leader of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, who in speeches and his 1967 book Black Power, The Politics of Liberation, urged that Negro be abandoned. Similarly, a survey in Newark of black males from 15 to 35 years old after the 1967 riot found that 50% of those who participated in the riots described themselves as black, compared to 33% of non-rioters. Initially, black was used to describe those who were progressive, forward-looking, and/or radical, while Negro was used for those who were more established and identified with the status quo. While the progressive.
What year? What year is this?
What year? I just read it.
No.
after the 1967 riot.
Okay. Yeah, but Thunder,
All right,
Thunder, you know that
can I
that
hold
Negro term
on. I'm
is
waiting to say
really
what I was saying.
just a mispronunciation of Negro.
Let, let,
That's all it
let,
was.
let me
Yeah, bro.
let me say something.
I don't care about
Time
no
out, time
Negro.
out. Listen. Community of Skeptics have started a show, so we're gonna head over there. Sorry, I gotta end the show.
Daffy, let me just say this, please.
Yeah,
Let me
go
just
ahead.
say this, please. Please. I have two sources that pity I'm driving. One is Three Finger Jack. There's a lot of literature on the Jamaican folk hero named Three Finger Jack. And he was described as black. In the histories of Jamaica, a book from the 1500s, the 16th century, many people in Jamaica were described as black, especially the first person was educated in Oxford, England. He was described as black.
Yeah,
Marcus
but
Garvey,
the
before
Jamaicans call themselves
1967,
black.
calling people black.
Did Jamaicans
Huh?
call themselves black? No. They call
Yes, they
themselves
did.
Jamaicans.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Oh, Jesus, Father.
If you telling me
Oh,
one or two
Jesus, Father.
stupids by your own logic, you're saying that two people were called black. That's your logic. If they were called black people,
I am saying to you, listen. You are using a 1967 to say the Americans decided that they were black. And they didn't. They were being referred to as black, even while they were being referred to as Negroes.
no,
The words were
we called
interchangeable.
ourselves black.
You did not call yourself black first.
No,
You were being called black.
Y'all are wow.
It's
You
just
were saying that. You were
it's just
saying,
a
no.
translation.
What you were saying to me? No, not translation, not Negro. The word Negro and black were used interchangeably
when did Jamaicans
long
use the
before
word black?
1967 to describe African Americans who were called African Americans. The word Negro and black was used
when did Jamaicans
interchangeable to describe Jamaicans.
When did Jamaicans
Stop
call
it,
themselves
man.
black?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were calling ourselves black before 1967.
When?
Marcus Garvey was calling you black also. When Marcus Garvey was making his speech at Liberty Hall, he was referring to the people as black. We have written history of people being called themselves black who was called black. You never originally called yourself black. It's the colonizers called you black. You might accept it and embrace it.
When did Jamaicans start calling themselves black? That's what I asked you.
From slavery.
All
yeah,
right,
black, Negro,
between
nigger,
the white
they
people
all
and the
mean
black.
the same
Yes.
thing.
All right, stupid.
They all mean the same thing.
No, they don't.
You are
man.
using the word interchangeably.
No, they do.
Okay.
They do.
Okay.
Latin is Niger, and then English in
Let me ask you a
American
question.
they couldn't
Is
say it, pronounce it, so they said nigger.
Niger the same thing as BLACK?
Yes, it's the same. Just like Negro. Negro is the same as Niger.
So
black is the same.
So NEGRO is spelled the same as BLACK.
No, it's translation. If you look up it's the same.
Y'all
It
niggas,
means in
you
different
wildin',
languages.
man. You
It means
wildin',
the
bro.
same thing.
I'm
It
not.
means the
Listen.
same thing.
I didn't say what it
It
meant.
means the same
I
thing.
said what we
But the
was
colonizers was using it interchangeably.
I
Black is an
didn't
English
ask you what
word.
it meant. We asked you what were
Nigger
you
is
called.
Latin. Negro
All right.
is
What
Spanish.
were you called?
All right, Sunder. Was the colonizers calling the people who North African Americans black
Before
during slavery?
colonization, right? Before colonization, they didn't use that term. You were identified by your ethnicity, or if you want to call it tribe, your group. That's what you went by. You didn't go by your skin color. That's a Europeans. They didn't identify
So
them.
why you prove my
They
point,
just
my brother?
went
Don't
off the
prove my
skin
point.
color.
Prove your own point.
No, that's my point. What do you mean your point? That's my
How can
point.
it be your point?
My point is that the Europeans pre-colonization, that these groups they were called by their group name. Like
So
they were not called by the skin
So
color.
they weren't called black, right?
No, they were not called
All right,
black.
there
No.
you go. So are you proving
No,
my
no, no,
point
no,
of
no,
yours?
no, 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 wait.
You proving my
What I
point of
mean
yours,
is,
man.
no, listen what I'm saying. The people who would be considered dark, black, they didn't go around saying, "Oh, we're black people."
Why
They
do you keep
identified
saying the
with their
same thing
group.
over? I just said that. I'm asking you,
Sunder,
were they called
please.
black people?
Sunder, can you please
What?
answer my question? During slavery, was the colonizers calling African Americans black?
No.
No.
You're wrong.
All right.
Don't die on that. Don't die on that. Sunder,
No
I
problem.
wish I knew your name. I'd find you on Facebook.
Let's read it, bro. You want to read it again?
But the term is interchangeable, though.
It's
it
not the
is.
same term.
It is.
Sunder, sit down and tell the
All right,
people
see y'all
that
later, man.
colonizers.
See y'all later.
So
See y'all
Negro is the same word as
see y'all black
conversation with
African people. I see y'all later, black
So
African
Garfield
people.
is the same word as thunder. And OB is the same word as
context, right?
That doesn't have relation.
Yo, Unks live, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. We out of here. Peace. Thank you, guys.
Peace, Garfield.
Peace.
Garfield, bro. Peace, Thunder, man.